All right, we are officially here. Hi, everybody. Um, First, I just want to say shout out to Skip. If you're looking for another really cool person to follow on socials, really awesome streamer, mutual and friend in the space, please go check out Skip over on Twitch. But welcome everybody, whether you're watching me morning, afternoon, or evening, whether you're, lurking, because again, if you can't stay in chat, it's totally fine. You can just lurk and enjoy the ambience or whether you're watching the VOD. Because again, I don't want to assume all of everybody who does support or want to hang out and things like that can actually stay in person, like actually virtually in the sense of being live. But I hope you're having a nice one. We did start a little bit earlier than intended this morning. Or excuse me, we're starting a little bit later than intended this morning, but that's what I shared last night on stream with Final Fantasy 14, that we would be starting a little bit earlier in the day, in the sense of trying to play the demo for a visual novel game that I was asked to and reached out to by some folks who have been working on it. So that's really the plan for the day, is to finally get around to playing Aria's Choice. We were originally supposed to play this a few weeks ago, but I got sick, as well as some other things that happened too that just pushed it off for a few more weeks, and now we're able to play it finally. So really excited for that, and we can go from there. So appreciate you, Skip. You're cool and dope, just like everybody else in terms of things. But in regards to announcements, I again just want to share that we will be doing Gamers Outreach and being part of Spooktacular. And welcome in, Lawrence. I hope you're having a nice one. And good morning to you. Good happy time zone, as folks say. But I hope folks are having a nice one before we get started with the visual novel today. But I just want to say I hope folks are okay. I usually I don't know if I've had a habit of this, but I try to do this as much as possible when I'm streaming. But please take care of yourselves. There's a lot going on in the world. As always, it is very overwhelming. So I know it's on my heart and on my mind and spirit to, say something before I get started for streaming. So, I hope that folks have found my streams comforting, but at least I hope folks are finding, even if I'm not like the ultimate comfort for you, I hope you're doing what you have to do to stay informed about what's going on in the world, but also just taking care of what you got to do. There's just a lot going on. I've just been very much paying attention as always, and I just felt like I wanted to say something, just to be in this space in terms of things. I'm really thinking about, for example, Hurricane Helene. So for those who are in Turtle Island or based in the States, the hurricane has really devastated a lot of places in the U.S. South. There's just a lot of people who are out without power. There's lots of roads that have been destroyed. There's been lots of stuff that's been going wrong, and it's just really hard to see people go through a lot of stuff. Not only for the folks who do not have the privileges to be able to evacuate and leave, but the folks who are going to have to deal with the aftermath of just losing accessibility to a lot of things. So I know on my socials I've been sharing a lot of resources in terms of disaster relief, mutual aid links and stuff like that too. But also what's going on globally. I know I've seen videos of folks who are, leaving their homes to basically seek some shelter or survival in terms of things too. So I know it's a little heavy at the top, but I just want to say, like I said, please take care. And I like the way that the creator for Near Armada said it, who, shout out to Near Armada. I actually don't play the game, but I do know of it a lot. A lot of friends and mutuals love the game. But I agree in that the little things that we do, just sharing things or talking about stuff, can really make a difference, as well as like, driving resources and articles and just things about what's going on to support people across the world. So I really encourage folks who do watch me, as I always say, to do your due diligence, know your limitations, of course, but also just be aware that if you can give something or be able to talk about these things, please do. As well as if you can support people who are going through a lot, if you have more than enough, then I really will encourage that as much as possible. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say that at the top. Again, I know it's a heavy time. It's been heavy. The 2020s have been a very hard decade, I think, in general. But I think humans can do a lot of good if we choose to. So I have a lot of anchors to keep me grounded. And I appreciate my friends and mutuals who are privy to what's going on, who are doing what they can as always. So, yeah, I just want to say that. And I hope I, again, am being respectful of what's going on and not trying to, again, be disrespectful to anybody in terms of what's going on and who's been impacted. But welcome in, Paz. I hope you're having a nice one. Thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, y'all, please go check out Paz. Paz has a gaming channel and a main channel where you can always support OG community member and really cool person. So please go check out Paz when you have a chance. But I'm doing well, Paz. I'm starting out the stream just talking and reflecting a little bit about what's going on in the world. There's just lots happening all the time. So I know I've often talked about it on stream, but I just want to make sure I say it at the forefront. Like, please take care of yourselves. Please do what you can. Please stay informed and just stay safe and stay well. It's just a lot happening at this point in its juncture, but it's okay. I'm a believer that if humans really want to make a way forward, we will. We will collectively get our shit together. In the most blunt sense. But like I said, I really appreciate with just because the Nier Automata anime just ended, so a lot of people have been quoting and sharing posts about it. And I just like what the author, the creator said about every little thing does matter, kind of like C.S. Lewis said the same thing. So that's my ethos too, of every little thing does matter in the grand scheme of things, even if it does feel like overwhelming. You can always do a little bit to push things forward, and if more of us do a little bit together, then a lot can happen. So. But yeah, the plan for today is to play Aria's Choice for a couple of hours. My thing with demos is that I'm going to try to play as much as I can within one stream, so that way you all can get a preview of any game or anything that I play. If I don't finish the demo, it does not mean that you shouldn't finish it yourself. It just means that, again, want to try to accomplish showing y'all some of the gameplay on stream in one stream, and be able to just, support and drive traffic towards the creators who made the game or anything that I get my opportunity to download and play. So just as a little bit of context before we get started with Aria's Choice today, I just wanted to make sure I shared as much information in regards to the game itself. But I was actually reached out to by JJ Beats. Shout out to JJ Beats and the team. Essentially, Aria's Choice is a visual novel, and I'm just reading directly off the page. But in Aria's Choice, a visual novel filled with laughter and heart, we step into the shoes of Aria, a 21-year-old psychology student who's on an ambitious quest to understand the complexities of human emotions and especially love. So this visual novel, I imagine, will have a lot of romance, complexity, psychology. It's just a lot of different components to it in terms of just the experience of romance, platonic of relationships, self-growth as I'm looking through things, and just figuring out how the authors wanted to drive this story in terms of the game they're working on. So this game you can currently get on itch.io. I can share the link in the chat for those who want to try it. But JJ Beats reached out to me reached out to me essentially to be able to try and play the game. I do share visual novels and other upcoming games on my socials often, so I do not mind if folks reach out to me in regards to opportunities to play a game or try it. So I did want to do that because I've done it with Save the Villainous, I've done it with Bite Breakers. I do like playing games and just getting traction for them, so that one, for folks who do watch me and do appreciate the games that I talk about or the things I'm into, and hopefully will give you something to think about playing or supporting or looking into yourself. But also just really wanted to give some airtime to the folks who really make games possible, because I do support creatives and what they got going on as always. So, yeah, that's really the plan, is just to play it and see how it goes. Right now, I've got it downloaded. I was told to wait until the day I streamed it or close to it to be able to download it so I can get the most updated version of it, as it's still, I do believe, being worked on. But I hope folks will enjoy it. And of course, as I will say, just because I try something doesn't mean folks have to like it. So if you're not into visual novels, that's totally fair. Like I said, I do have playlists for everything. So if you're looking for a particular thing from me, you can just check out that and things like that too. It's super cool to... Oh, hold on a second, y'all. And yeah, Paz, it's really cool. Sorry, I might have to take this a 5-minute break for a second. I need to actually go give my my kitten his medicine. So I'll have to take a little bit of a pause before we get started. But yeah, so here you're getting some devs to play their games. It's so awesome. Yeah, I'm really grateful. I mean, again, this is why I tell people, and I will keep saying this: if you are a streamer or a creative, do you never know who's watching you? I've actually gotten to play Aria's Choice as well as Save the Villainous, because I think it's because with Save the Villainous, I shared their game and they were like, hey, do you want to like play the demo? And I was like, sure. And I got to really enjoy it, even though it scared the heck out of me, as y'all can see in the videos on YouTube, as well as with Aria's Choice. I think JJ and them reached out to me because they had seen that I share a lot of visual novels, because I share things that I really enjoy. So I do need to make a media kit so folks can have a direct access to me, because I feel like my stuff's still not as organized as it could be. But that's why I say to you all, like, you never know who's watching, as well as if you see an opportunity, shoot your shot. Bite Breakers was the same thing, as well as Seekers for Skyvale. I just reached out about those opportunities because I was like, I want to try the game. So if there's any space or any way for me to join in the fray, I'd love to. But of course, if not, it's totally chill. And I got those opportunities. So I just want to say, like, shoot your shot. Don't think because you're not a super huge creative in the space, or that you're just still growing, that you can't get those. Because I've been able to play some really cool games and really honestly meet some really cool developers, or at least in the sense of like talking to them in terms of things because of that. So. And hi, Genki. Welcome in. I hope you're having a nice one. Let me give you a shout out. As always, y'all, please check out Genki. We've taken a break from walking around. What's the vibes? Please check out Genki, fellow Final Fantasy 14 player, a mod, and super cool mutual and friend in the space. If you're looking for another streamer to follow over on Twitch, please go hit that follow over there on that platform. But nice. I'm glad that you're taking a break in terms of things. I'm doing good, actually. I'm just talking about just supporting folks. I just mentioned, for example, because Past mentioned it's cool that devs are reaching out, is that I was saying that for Save the Villainous, for some of the opportunities, it's been shooting my shot, as well as just sharing stuff I like. And sometimes people just see it on social media and they're like, hey, what's good? But I've talked about that before on stream, or like, don't ever think because you're a small creative you can't like get opportunities. It doesn't really matter. I just really want to show the passion I have for games and art and science. So that ethos, I hope, comes across for folks who do reach out to me. And I'm looking forward to more in terms of things to be able to support folks. But yeah, otherwise, I'm doing pretty good this Saturday. Just trying to like chill, have some fun. I also, like I said at the top of the hour, just want to make sure folks are taking care and staying safe. There's just a lot going on in the world in the news. So just thinking about that too as well. But otherwise, I'm doing good. I hope you're enjoying yourself as you're walking around and stuff and things. It's all goody in the hoodie. But yeah, I will be right back before we get started, y'all. I need to go give my kitten his medicine, and then we'll get started. So just give me like 5-10 minutes to go do that, and then we will transition into Aria's Choice for this wonderful afternoon slash. It's afternoon now, but technically it's like morning afternoon that I started. So we'll play for a couple of hours and then we'll wrap up. So this stream isn't intended to be super long, because I don't know how long the demo is, but we're going to play for a couple of hours to just show you some of the game. And then I've dropped the link in the chat, and I'll drop it again for those who do want to try out the game itself in terms of the demo, as well as when it comes out. But I will BRB first. I got to go do some things, and then we'll get it popping. So just stay tuned for a little bit, y'all. All right, I am Bayek. Thanks so much for your patience, everybody. We will transition to the gaming screen. The Foogies are being really weird in terms of the linkage. Hold on. And Ginky, I don't know if you're still here, but again, I hope you're having fun in terms of walking around and stuff. I'm here for the shenanigans. Okay. So we will go ahead and get Aria's Choice started. You might already start hearing the music. And hi, Aspen, welcome in. Hope you're having a nice one. I'll give you a shout out in just a second. I'm just trying to get the game going. In regards to today's visual novel, but I hope you're having a nice one. Y'all should be able to hear music, but let me know if that's not the case. Like a piano almost. Or not a piano, maybe a guitar more so is the better way to put it. Okay. Alright, you all should see the screen, but let me know if that's not the case. And then also let me know about sound as well as like anything else. The captions are working on the bottom that I see, but let me know if you cannot hear anything in terms of the sound or other things, like if you can't see the video and such too. And then I can fix it. If not, we can just go ahead and get going. And as always, y'all, Aspen is a mutual and friend in the super space. So if you're looking for another dope person to support who talks a lot about books, as well as just really cool things, and is an awesome person in general, please go check out Aspen. You won't have a bad time. So please go follow over on Twitch. All right, cool. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, so we're just going to start with a clean save file and just go from here. Let me see. That actually is not great in terms of the screens. Let me adjust a little bit more. Apologies, y'all. I know it might be a little stretch, so I might actually just make it a little bit smaller outside of the overlay so y'all can actually see some of the font. And then I'm going to leave my little witch a little bit. She's not on the font. Actually, no, I'm going to have her a little floating. There you go. She'll be over there. Hopefully this works. Okay, so it's just another typical day of study on campus. Okay, so I'm going to remember that, y'all, the characters are in college, so I am like a decade or so removed from college. So I'm going to remember that as I play through this visual novel. Not to be disrespectful to anybody in their early 20s, but it's a different frame of mind versus like when you're older, so. I sat on the bench under a spiraling tree and my psychology textbook opened my lap. Shout out to her, though, because I actually was a psychology major in college. So, you know, this is going to be interesting in terms of, like, that placement. The topic at hand, the triangle theory of love. I don't think I've ever heard of that theory. So, according to the triangle theory of love, love is made of 3 components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. I like the little illustration of the character in regards to things, so that's cool. Like, I like the way they drew her. As I glanced up from my book, a group of giggling girls walked by, distracting me. Why is she talking to herself? She looks like a weirdo, or that should be a weirdo. Okay. Oh. Ignore the comments like I care what they think. Good for you, sis. Ignore. Someone making fun of you when they don't know you, that's just rude. Just keep going about your business. Despite being a psychology major, relationships and social interactions still feel like a complete mystery at times. I wanted to understand what makes people tick, but after getting into this academic course, it feels more complex rather than easy. That is so relatable, y'all, because when you take psychology or sociology classes, it just opens your brain so much. You're just kind of like, you can't unsee certain things. So I appreciate this like commentary, because it's very true. Relationships sure are complicated. Huh. The more I study them, the less I actually understand them in the real world. I saw a well-dressed man approaching the girls. The girls were visibly excited to see him. A suddenly unexpected voice broke my reverie. Seriously, there's no good reason to let randos get under your skin. Exactly. Like, pro tip, y'all, like, and I can say this openly, like I've shared on the stream, like I've been made fun of and bullied enough to the point where like most of the time when someone says an offhand comment, sometimes yes, it can be hurtful. And just know that if someone doesn't know you to the depth that you know yourself or your family and friends, who cares what they think? So just keep it pushing if somebody tries you in public. Just don't even bother to give them that type of attention. They talked to him as if he was some kind of celebrity, but I couldn't make out who he was. His footsteps began to turn towards my direction after they had their little chat. I was skeptical of his approach. What did he want from me? Or is it just that he wants to sit here beside the park bench? Questions raced in my mind. He slowly comes near me and then... Is this seat taken? Okay, well, this might be... I don't know if this is one of the, like... one of the characters, maybe, that she can romance, but we'll see. I don't know. I saw him bending over to look more straight into my eyes, waiting for my response. No, it's not taken. I believe you are Aria, right? Yes, Aria Hartfield. Have we met before? He smiled and pointed to my notebook on which my name was written in intricate letter art. Oh, right. Duh. And you are? Damien. Damien Blackwood. Oh, he is a choice. Okay. I still have the page up. Okay. Right, Aspen? Like, he looks like Darian from Sailor Moon. I'm screeching. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about that, but, you know, it's fine. Damien Blackwood sounds like something from, like, a fan fiction, which I'm not mad about. Just in the name, it's just funny to me. Okay, Damien. It's my pleasure to meet you. He gestured towards me to shake his hand. I heard all about him. Rumors swirled around about his connections with high-profile figures and involvement in various passive and pervasive government work. Supposed to be in college, though? I mean... Okay. All right. Oh, I recognize you now. Do you study psychology, too? Certainly. I love how we have the roasting of... It's giving peak shoujo vibes. I love it, though. He's supposed to be like one of the heartthrob toys. This is so cute. He scanned me from head to toe to feel it was a new special scientific experiment. I guess that's her way of saying that she's probably checking you out, says, but okay, maybe. In a conspicuous, inconspicuous way. I straightened my skirt and stood up a little straighter. Psychology fascinates me. The human eye and all its intricacies. This man's an edgelord. Watch him be an edgelord. I'm kidding. It's one of my courses this semester. Aria. It's nice to meet a fellow student if we approach psychology from slightly different angles. He then looks intently in my eyes, so I have two choices. Ask him about the triangle theory of love and walk with him. See and refer books on the triangle theory of love. I'll just walk with him. Why not? I feel like the bottom choice might be slightly better, but I'm going to ask him. Oh, we get a mood changer. It's given like, God, what do you call it? It's given like them like young adult movies almost too, like Lifetime. I just, the vibe is so, it's really, they're setting the vibe. So, okay, my curiosity peaked. I'm probably saying that wrong. I decided to strike up a conversation with Damien. I adjusted my bag strap and took a step closer. Now, wait a minute. How would you know if we approach it from different angles or not? We've only just met. His mouth curved into a handsome smirk. Well, now I suppose that's true. Very well. Let's discuss. Where should we begin? Well, right now in my psychology class, we're studying the triangle theory of love. Admittedly, I'm still grappling what I think of it. What's your take on it? The triangle theory. His voice was silky smooth as if he were musing over the theory over a bottle of red wine by the fireplace rather than standing in the middle of a busy campus. I'm screaming at the descriptor. Can y'all even legally drink? Like, oh wait. I guess she's like... Okay, she's 21. She's legal. Sorry. Again, because I'm like a decade older, my brain's like, y'all are legal, right? Don't do anything bad, inconspicuous. That's the auntie vibes. Ignore me. It's fine. I'm this descriptor is just killing me. It's an intriguing concept. You see, love isn't a monolithic emotion. It's multifaceted like a prism refracting light into different colors. You have to study this topic too in your psychology class as well? Not exactly. I tend to follow my curiosity and get too invested in my books when it comes to studies, so I know about it. So these three components, intimacy, passion, and commitment, how do they fit together? Well, because you don't know either, sir. Trying to flex with this tuxedo mask Darien look of yours, and you don't even know how to answer the question, young whippersnapper. I see you. If love is a triangle, then those components are the corners. Intimacy is the emotional closeness, the deep conversation, shared secrets, and vulnerability. Passion is the fire, the desire, the chemistry that ignites. And commitment, it's the decision to stay, the long-term investment. But can't love exist without all three? His smile widened. Absolutely. Some relationships are high on passion but lack commitment. Others are built on deep friendship but lack the fiery passion. The ideal, though, is a balanced triangle. I love that combines all three harmoniously. As we walked together across the campus, I found myself drawn to Damien's insights. His mysterious aura intrigues me. He's given that slightly seen emo kid in college and high school that you end up having feelings for. Ask me how I know. I'm crying though. And what about you personally? How do you perceive love? I suppose it's something I like a complex equation. Variables change and sometimes the solution surprises us. But one thing's certain, understanding the components helps us navigate this enigma. I took a moment to process what he had said, gazing at the sunlight filtering through the leaves overhead. I had no practical experience in love, so the only thing I could offer was insight and theory as an outsider. Well, I did have a relationship in the past, but he just confessed to me and had ulterior motives. It was never real love. On the other hand, Damien had given such thoughtful answers, and it would have been rude to let the conversation end there. Maybe we're all just trying to solve our own love equations. That's a banger of a line, I'll give her that. I returned my gaze to him once more and saw him watching me intently. There was a tightness in my chest I didn't quite understand when he spoke. Perhaps that's true. Sometimes unexpected variables make it all the more fascinating. As we continued our stroll across campus, my curiosity about the enigma of Damien Blackwood and his perspectives on love only grew stronger. Did I segue into a route with Damien? Maybe I did. I don't know. So, Damien, is love is such a complex equation, do you have the solution all figured out? The corners of his mouth turned into a mysterious smile. Excuse me. Not at all. Love, like any great mystery, is meant to be explored, not solved. I nodded, mulling over his words. I suppose that's true. There's always more to discover, isn't there? Precisely. The journey is often more rewarding than the destination. He paused, his gaze settling on me. Speaking of which, I have a proposition for you. I felt my heart beat quick and unsure of what to expect. Are you about to go in and ask her out or something? Didn't y'all just meet? Can y'all give it like a week? I don't know. Emotions? Proposition? Yes. I've noticed your keen interest in psychology and find your perspective refreshing. How would you feel about meeting me for coffee sometimes? I knew it! Okay, so Aria sitting down on the thing. He came up to us after being admired. We walk and talk about the theory of love, and now he's asking her out for coffee. The music changed. As you can see, I'm having a fun time with this. This is fun. I'm glad to discuss the intricacies of love and human behavior in greater depth. A flutter of nervousness and excitement stirred within me. That is so cute! Girl, you about to be asked out. Enjoy it. Even though we don't know this man because we just been walking with him for like 30 minutes. I don't know. Probably hasn't been that long, right? Coffee? Well, I assure you it would be purely academic. You say that. You say that, but okay. I'm simply intrigued by your insights and would enjoy the chance to exchange ideas. Biting my lip, I considered his proposal. On the one hand, the idea of spending more time with this refreshingly mysterious man may have been thrilling, but it also intimidated me. Trust your intuition, sis. He talks a little more like a professor than a student. That's what I'm saying, though, Aspen. Like, I don't know. I'm back. I was eating some healthy breakfast. No worries. Welcome back, Paz. We are currently talking to Damien, who is decided to ask Aria, after a long conversation about the theory of love, to coffee. Even though it's supposed to be purely academic. But yeah, like Aspen saying, he talks like a a professor. But yes, Paz, basically like I just mentioned, we are playing as Aria. She was just sitting down reading her book, just thinking about relationships and the theory of love. Damien walked up on her, this person you see on the screen, and I just decided to, as a choice that I had, I could either have just gone to the library and just, read up or looked into the theory of love, or walk and talk with him. I decided to walk and talk with Damien. We've been talking about the theory of love, and now he's asking her to go get coffee to talk more psychology and stuff. And that's pretty much it. An old soul. Yeah. On the other hand, the opportunity to dive deeper into psychology was too tempting to pass up. You know what? I'm gonna go. Why not? I'd be happy to. Damien's eyes crinkled with a subtle smile. Excellent. How about tomorrow evening? There's a charming little cafe near the campus that I frequent. Tomorrow evening it is. I felt my heart flutter in anticipation. I don't know how I feel about this man, but hopefully I didn't set up old girl to get hurt. If he do though, I'm gonna feel step away. Oh, I missed it. Wait, back. As we parted ways, I couldn't help but wonder what this unexpected meeting would hold. Was Damien truly interested in academic discussion, or was there something more beneath the surface? The next evening, I made my way towards the cozy cafe Damien had mentioned. I love cafes, so this is cool. A little bubble tea and the details back here. As I approached the entrance, I stopped to smooth any wrinkles out of my skirt. I took a deep breath and opened the door. At first, I didn't see him. Was he late, or had he decided not to come after all? Just as I started to feel myself deflate, I spotted him at the small table near the back, sipping a seeming cup of coffee. I will say, shout out to the folks who made the soundtrack. You're doing a really good job in terms of like setting the stage for the novel. So kudos. I collected myself once more and slid into the chair across from him. Aria, you made it. I'm so glad you could join me. It sure is hard to keep casual when your stomach's full of butterflies. So, I'm pretty sure Aria has a crush on him because he looked the way he do and he talking the way she like. But I still don't trust him. So we're gonna see where this goes. But maybe it's just my like, you're smooth or whatever. But just, but anyway, I cleared my throat and began again. I'm excited to continue our discussion on the psychology of love. His eyes sparkled with genuine interest. Excellent. Can I get you a coffee? Or perhaps something else? Coffee would be wonderful, thank you. I will say, as a college student, I did drink like some coffee back in those times, but honestly, yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker. So if he had asked, I would have probably got a tea if I was her. But it's fine. This is a coffee shop. If not, if I did get a coffee in terms of things, it's usually like the ones with like so much cream and sugar that it's not really coffee at that point. It's just like hot chocolate. That's why I think hot chocolate is a great cafe choice. So shout out for those of you who are cafe owners or like cafes. Hot chocolate is my friend. And now I want some low-key. As well as my rose oak milk tea. I love that so much. It's great. Oh, my lovely couple. Oh, we're not... You know who you remind me of? Me and my boyfriend. Well, to my horror and disgust, a single tear rolled down her cheek. I can't deal with other people's feelings, least of all complete strangers. Is she just crying randomly at their table? Hope she's okay, but... Oh my goodness. But I knew the polite thing was to smile through it and wait until it's over. So waiting is what I did. Me and my ex-boyfriend, I guess. He said that he wanted to talk, so I thought we were going to take it to the next level, you know? She leaned in close, holding hands. But in the end, he was leaving me for my older sister. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. Dang. That's intense. Just like the last one. Ooh. Girl, I'm sorry. That's messed up. And the one before that. Oh. Damien cleared his throat impatiently. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. She wiped away her tears with her apron. What can I get you? She'll have a coffee. With cream, please. She let out a sad little squeak. Alex used to love cream. She left for a moment. When she returned with my drink, the tears were really flowing. Is she just randomly crying? Girl, do you need to like take a powder or a break? I'm so sorry. Right, Aspen? Like, that's awful. That is awful. Must have had some kind of magic over, but actually, which is messed up, because she is really distraught. So I'm so sorry, because she is talking to Aria and Damien, and She's not having a good one. Thankfully, she left us out of it this time. Damien focused his attention on me as I poured the creamer into my coffee until it was a perfect shade of beige. I feel as if I've been doing all the talking on subject on at hand. Tell me, Aria, what are your thoughts on the practical application of the triangle theory of love? How can we use this framework to better understand our own relationships? I took a sip of the rich, aromatic coffee, savoring the flavors I gathered my thoughts. Well, I think the theory provides a useful starting point, but ultimately, love is so much more complex than a simple triangle. The components of intimacy, passion, and commitment can even flow over time, and the balance between them is unique to each relationship, right? Damien nodded thoughtfully, his gaze never leaving mine. I felt a little heat run up the back of my neck. Did he see through me? Did he know my understanding of practical application was exclusively secondhand? The pause stretched out just a moment too long. I breathed a small sign of relief when he spoke again. Fascinating. And how do you believe one can cultivate a healthy, balanced love? I thought a moment longer, determined to give a satisfying answer. I suppose it requires constant communication, understanding, and a willingness to adapt as the relationship evolves. Love isn't static. It's a living, breathing thing that needs to be nurtured. I'm surprised to find that in spite of my inexperience, I felt extremely confident in my answer. Well said. You have a remarkable insight into the intricacies of the human heart. Evidently, that confidence had been well placed. I'm still learning, to be honest. There's so much more to discover. Indeed. He leaned back in his chair, that mysterious smirk of his spreading across his face once more. That's part of the thrill, don't you think? The endless possibilities, the surprises that await us on the journey of love. As we continued our captivating conversation, I found myself drawn deeper into Damien's world. His keen intellect and thoughtful perspective challenged me, sparking a curiosity I hadn't expected. And beneath the surface, I sensed a vulnerability, a longing for connection that belied his enigmatic facade. Time seemed to slow as we explored the complexities of the human heart, our coffee growing cold and forgotten. In that moment, the board melted away, leaving only Damien and me, two souls united by a shared fascination with mysteries of love. I'm screaming. She is hook, line, and sinker with this man. Even though, again, I don't know, at least at this point, I'm assuming they're gelling well together, but I don't know anything about him besides that he's into psychology and his name. As the evening wore on, our conversation flowed effortlessly, each revelation and insight drawing us closer. I found myself captivated by Damien's depth of understanding and the way he could articulate the nuances of love and human behavior. You know, the more we dive into the psychology of relationships, the more we realize how much is left to uncover. There's so many variables at play: societal expectations, personal histories, subconscious needs and desires. Absolutely. And what works for one couple may not work for another. Love is truly a unique journey for each individual. Precisely. And that's what makes it all the more fascinating, don't you think? The unpredictability, the constant evolution. It's like solving a puzzle with ever-changing pieces. I couldn't help but be drawn in by his passion, the way he spoke about love with such reverence. So how do you navigate the complexities of love in your own life, Damien? It sounded too bold once I said it out loud. Girl, you just straight up just asked him as if you don't have a crush on him, but okay. Going straight for the jugular, he's walking right into the point. I'm not mad. I just, go for it, sis. Do what you gotta do, what I'm saying. It's fine. There was no backing down now. His expression shifted, a flicker of vulnerability crossing his features before he caught himself and settled back into his usual facade. Well, I suppose you could say my own love life has been second priority. It's hard to balance my line of work and schooling, so adding a relationship on top of it is... Oh, welcome in, Diego. I hope you're having a nice one. As always, y'all, please go check out Diego over on socials. Really creative, does some cool art. So if you're looking for someone to follow and support, please go check out Diego when you have a chance. But hello, I'm just playing the demo for Aria's Choice this lovely morning, afternoon. We are currently playing as Aria, who is on a date hangout with Damien, and they're talking about the theory of love and just each other in terms of things, or in the sense of she's asking him now questions about his own love life. But I hope you're having a nice one, and thanks for coming by as always. You know what? That is so relatable, Damien. I'm crying fast. He trailed off, staring over my shoulder as if watching someone. Is something the matter? He shook his head quickly. Apologies, I thought I saw someone I knew. At any rate, what I mean to say is I'm still on my own journey of discovery. Love has a way of surprising us even when we think we have it all figured out. There was a weighted pause, and I sensed there was more to his story, a depth of emotions he was carefully concealing. Reaching across the table, I lightly brushed my fingers against his. Okay, he just said he might not be able to balance this, and yet you're just, again, he talking right to the point. Just going for it. I understand. Sometimes the heart's path is not an easy one to follow. Are they going to do that thing that, like, that's adorable? Like, you whippersnappers and the way y'all are not direct. Damien's gaze dropped to our hands, a slight tension in his shoulders. It's the older sister he saw. Maybe he had a relationship with her too. You know what, Aspen, you might be right. She might just be out here just getting all of these people just cause. For a moment, the air between us crackled with unspoken words. Indeed, but perhaps with the right companion, the journey becomes a little less daunting. He looked at me again, carefully monitoring my reaction. My heart quickened, the flutter of hope blossoming in my chest. The room seemed to close in on me, the walls pressing against my ribs. I wanted to lean closer to bridge the gap between us, but the weight of our histories held me back. Before I could respond, however, his phone suddenly chirped, shattering the intimate moment. Damien's expression tightened, and he withdrew his hand from mine as if the connection had become too dangerous. The tension hung in the air, thick and suffocating, like a storm brewing on the horizon. I glanced at the phone, its screen illuminating his face. Who could be interrupting us now? Was it a lover, a business associate, or someone else entirely? The possibilities raced in my mind, each one adding another layer of complexity to our fragile dance. My heart was rioting in my chest. She is caught up in the wellstorm of emotions, which I'm not judging her for. You know, if it really is the older sister, I'll probably ask when I'm screaming. But hey, I mean, if it is, I get you. I would be like, huh, really? And she's really getting caught up in, like, of course, as people say, like, when you fall in love with somebody or you're actually in a relationship, you really can't control how you feel in terms of things. But she's trying to understand, like, her own emotions and getting caught up. But obviously, she doesn't really know enough about him to be able to know if it's, like she said, if it's, like, someone he might have already been interested in, if he's healing from some stuff, whatever. But, yeah. So, I'm not judging her. It's just one of those things where, like, you're just trying to, you're interested in somebody, you want to get to know them, and you're going through the emotions of it, which is always something. He was very still for a moment, his jaw clenched. He signed heavily and stood up. Forgive me, Aria, but I'm afraid I must cut our evening short. An urgent matter has arisen that requires my attention. Disappointment washed over me, but I did my best to mask it with a polite smile. Of course, no need to apologize. Thank you for the engaging conversation. As Damien rose from his seat, a flicker of hesitation crossed his face. He met my gaze, a hint of longing lingering in his eyes before he quickly looked away. The pleasure was all mine. I'll be seeing you. In spite of the seemingly urgency of the call, he lingered by the table. Aria. He paused, his hand hovering near mine for a beat too long. Then with a visible effort, he curbed his movement, his fingertips brushing not against my hand, but askant away on the table. A flicker of hope sparked in my eyes as I unconsciously shifted my hand a touch closer, yearning for the contact he seemed to hesitate over. They're doing that thing where they, like, it's, what is it, Lady and the Tramp, like, spaghetti moment, where it's like the hands are trying to get closer to each other, and it's just like, 1, 2, 1, 2 kind of thing. However, the insistent buzz of his phone shattered the fragile connection. His expression hardened with a jolt. Keep studying hard, okay? He snatched the phone and hurried away, leaving me staring after him, my hands suspended in mid-air, the warmth of the near touch replaced by a chilling sense of loss. Damien is not the right person for me. If he was, he would have stayed and not left me so awkwardly. Why did Damien leave me? There's some typos, but it's fine. Was it really an urgent business, or was it an excuse or something he's not willing to open up about yet? Okay, Aria, you just met this man, so, I mean, even if he could tell you, maybe he wouldn't have the space to. So I'm not really, I don't know. Either one's kind of a struggle, but I'll do the second one, because I feel like maybe he's got something going on. I don't know. The next day, I found myself unable to shake the memory of our interrupted evening. It had been unlike any other conversation I'd ever had before, and the weight of the unspoken words between us seemed to linger in the air like a phantom presence I couldn't quite escape. Even at college classes, my mind kept drifting back to him, wondering what could have been so important that it required his immediate attention. My thoughts were interrupted by the professor drifting back to the topic of attachment theory. Now, let's discuss the difference of different attachment types. There are 4 main types: secure, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. Does anyone know which type they are? Your mom is my type. Excuse me, sir, this is a college classroom. What are you doing? I'm screeching. Jeffrey, your dad is my type, and yet he somehow still raised an incredibly diverse 47. Oh my god, what do you mean? What do you mean, yo? What? What do you mean? Is she allowed to do that? What type of callback is that? Damn! Oh my god, what are you talking about? Ain't no way. This. I just need a minute, y'all. Ain't no way she said that. Wow. I don't. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think a professor would do that in real life. But we gon' like, dang. Alright then, Professor. More like Professor Whip, Professor Clapback, Miss Going for the Jugular. Dang. Hey, you can't say that to a student. I have 20 years of tenure. I'm screeching. I'm crying. Try me. Oh! Sis said I am not that girl. I am not the one today. I get paid enough. I get work certain hours. I do what I gotta do. You not coming for me. I'm crying. Oh my god. Alright then. The boy settled back in his seat, grumbling as something unflattering other professors that I dare not repeat. Bro threw a "your mom" comment, and then the press like "you're a disappointment to your parents." Like, bro, what exactly? Dang, that was wild. Let's try another question. Can anyone tell me whether it remains completely fixed after early childhood, or do significant life experience influence it to change over time? When there was maddening predictability, my mind drifted once again to Damien. Despite his dismissive behavior, there had been an undeniable spark between us. Could it be possible that our attachment styles weren't as fixed as we thought? That perhaps, given the right circumstances, even someone as guarded as Damien could form a secure attachment? My hand shot up and I waited patiently for the professor to acknowledge me. When she finally did, I took a deep breath before voicing my thoughts. I do think it's possible for attachment styles to change over time. With new experiences and in relationships, we might learn to adapt and form more secure attachments, even if our early childhood experience was less than ideal. Anyone can change if they want to. Her eyebrows raised in interest and she nodded in agreement. That's a very astute observation, Aria. And a correct one. Yeah, I will say, as somebody who studies psychology, like, it is very true in that sometimes we do get caught up in things like sunk cost fallacy, where we think if we invest a lot of time in something or act a particular way for a long time that we can't change. But at the end of the day, you can always change your behavior and do something different, and move forward in a way that's most appropriate to you. So, like she's saying, you can have a certain way that you get to know relationships and things like that, versus maybe when you're older, because of life experience and more positive attachments, you might actually be able to form better relationships and things because you've learned, and also the person that you're with is also at the same, like, emotional receptiveness, I guess, to what you're offering, and not in like a transaction way, but more in a, you're meeting human to human type of way. I might have to play this game when it fully released, because there might be more surprising moments like that. Yeah, no, for sure. The dialogue and the commentary so far is really decent, so I'm not mad. And again, right now you can play the demo for free, so this didn't cost me anything to play. But if you're interested in terms of this story, highly recommend to check it out. Research has shown that about 30% of people do develop different attachment styles over time. My chest swelled with pride at her acknowledgement of my insight. It was as if she had read my mind, sensing the hope that lay beneath my questions. I couldn't help but wonder if Damien's submissive behavior was a result of his own past experiences, or if there's something deeper at play. Aria, I love you, sis, but again, you've only known this man for 24 hours. So, yes, and maybe we should get to know him first before we make those observations. I don't know. The professor leaned forward, her gaze sweeping over the class with thoughtful intensity. Let's dive deeper. She tapped the whiteboard with a marker. Consider how positive and negative influences can affect an individual's attachment style. Positive influences, such as supportive relationships and therapy, can foster a shift towards a more secure attachment style. Conversely, negative experiences like trauma or loss might reinforce insecure attachment patterns, or even cause regression to less adaptive styles. The room was silent, every student hanging on her words. Even Jeffrey seemed to spit up a little bit in his seat. Suddenly, her eyes locked onto mine. She addressed me directly. So then, Aria, how do you think these influences might manifest in someone with dismissive tendencies? and maybe not psychoanalyze your potential boyfriends too hard. Exactly, Aspen. Because I think the big thing about it is that, and this is something I was actually taught in my psychology classes, is that you can make conjectures and form opinions and thoughts about how someone's reacting in their behavior, but at the end of the day, you should never psychoanalyze somebody to the point where you think you know them better than they know themselves. Even if it's something that they might not see in themselves or might not understand in themselves yet, it's really not okay to psychoanalyze people that you don't know or you just met, or just to analyze people in ways that don't make any sense. At least in those situations that it applies to, in what I'm saying. So I agree with you. Because, again, Aria's only met Damien for a day, so she doesn't really know anything about him besides that he's probably attracted to her, and they have good conversations about psychology. That's about all we got from him. We don't know anything else about this man. So what kind of positive or negative experiences could alter his attachment style? I felt a rush of adrenaline as all eyes turned to me. I had no idea how, but she seemed to have reached through my chest and gripped my heart. Understood the journey I'd been on recently. Yeah, for sure. This was more than a theoretical question. It was a window into understanding Damien's guarded heart. There was a flutter in my chest that made it hard to keep my voice steady, but I did my best. Well, if that person experienced consistent and genuine care from someone who respected his boundaries, then it could gradually help him feel safe enough to explore a more secure attachment, right? It's certainly possible. What do you think might prevent that kind of change from taking place? I guess if he or she were to face betrayal or abandonment, it might reinforce their belief that relying on others is a weakness, causing to retreat further into his shell. The professor nodded, a small smile playing over her lips. Very well said, Aria. The journey towards a secure attachment is complex and deeply personal. It's a dance between the past and the present, between fear and hope. As the lecture drew to a close, I couldn't help but feel a newfound determination. I wanted to be a positive influence in Damien's life to show him that not all bonds are chains and that together we could navigate the intricate steps of this dance. Sis, you just met him yesterday. It's one of those, you can't fix him. He has to want to fix himself. But if you want to be there for him, in terms of giving him the opportunity, sure. But we do not fix people who did not ask to be fixed. People have to choose to do what they want to do. So I'm a little let's not, no codependency. Let's not do that. But you can have crushes. You can like people. Interdependence is key. All day long, I replayed the professor's lecture in my head. The prospect of changing Damien's attachment style plagued my mind. For so long, I had fixated on the mere theory of what we've been studying, but suddenly I was intent on putting it into practice in order to better others, especially others that were as intriguing and deserving as Damien. Buenos dias, baby girl. The voice that interrupted me was so cheerful that it knew it could only be my best friend, Serenity. We had our next class together. Where have you been, mija? Oh, I like her. I don't know much about her character, but like they just said, that this is the best friends. That's cool. I haven't seen you in days. You weren't avoiding me, were you? I wasn't. Not this time, anyway. I met this guy. Oh, so you found a boyfriend. I thought I'd have one first, but you seem to lap me in this department. He's just very knowledgeable about psychology, so he's interesting to talk to. I just really want to figure him out. Sure, okay. Well, what's this mystery man's name? Damien. Damien? Like the Damien? Hostatia, not only do you have a boyfriend, but he's one of the coolest guys on campus. Also, if my Spanish is off, y'all, apologies, lo siento. I gotta work on it in terms of stuff too. In terms of practice. He's one of the coolest. Okay, so he's a popular guy, I figured. She put her hand on my shoulder. I picked it up as if it were a small dead animal and dropped it back by her side. Damien isn't my boyfriend. We just happened to get coffee talk for hours on end and explore each other's perspectives about love. Right. But he's totally not your boyfriend. He's not. Whatever you say. I like her. Right. Legs pumping, breath shortening, we sprinted the final stretch to the classroom. We stumbled through the classroom door, huffing and puffing just as the professor was beginning her lecture. Serenity gave him a pained smile. She signed and gestured for us to take a seat. During class, Serenity kept giving a menacing stare at one of our classmates, Silver. Just go talk to him. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I want to talk to that numbskull?
He thinks he's so cool because he's so rich and so good looking. You want me to get his attention for you? Is this setting? Is this setting? Yes, yes, pass. This is set in college. So all the characters are, I'm assuming, they're 21. So I don't know the exact age, but I'm going based off what I know about when you're 21. You're probably close to the end of your college years or getting closer to that. But I could be wrong. But yeah, this is set in college. He didn't notice me at all. I'm gonna look at her reaction. I don't want to tap on his shoulder. I said I don't want to talk to him. Actually, technically, you asked why you'd want to. I see that's a college classroom with a huge room and staircase desk. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it's college. Yeah, it's all good. And then you turned around and answered it for yourself. ¿Y por qué no? He's so handsome and loaded and probably drives a really cool car. How totally obnoxious. He is obnoxious. Almost as obnoxious as you obsessing over me and Damien, wouldn't you say? I get it, okay? I'm sorry. Now, are we even? Sure. After you say something to Silver. I hate you so much right now. There's something amusing about how defensive she got when she was talking about Silver. My mind returned to the triangle theory once again, as if it so often does these days. While she wasn't committed to him and they didn't share any particular intimacy, she was certainly passionate about him. I wondered how close hatred and love were on the human spectrum of emotions. They do say there is a thin line between love and hate for a reason. Because really, the opposite to me of love is indifference. Because if you don't really care about something, you're indifferent to it, right? So, I wondered about it, in fact, for the rest of the school day and had a perfectly devilish idea. You're still going to karaoke tonight, aren't you? Well, I was thinking of going home and working on some stuff for a video. Why? Oh, I just thought it'd been too long since we spent some real quality time together. Her eyes narrowed and she looked at me over for a long moment before continuing. Quality time, my butt. What are you up to? What? Can a girl spend a night out in the town with her best friend? Well, guess there's no use looking a gift horse in the mouse. But you better not back out. Cool if I bring someone with me? Oh, is it Damien? Maybe. Well, I'll see you there. 7 o'clock. Don't be late. Damien and I arrived at the karaoke bar fashionably early. There's a typo there. But, when did she get numbers with Damien? When did that happen? I guess they were talking for hours, so maybe the assumption is that they exchanged numbers? So, is Damien the type of person who just... I missed that. Like, they're on a basis where they got exchanged numbers and they could just hang out now after a day? Okay, well, we'll go with it. It's fine. Serenity waved at us from a table near the stage. You made it. And you brought your man. I didn't bother correcting her. Pleasure to meet you, madam. Oh, please, pleasure's all mine. I've heard so much about you. We're still waiting on one more person. Huh? Who is it? Before she could inquire any further, the DJ was calling her on stage. She was going to perform that song, her song. Paz, I don't even know. I just know that I'm going to assume the plot holes of Damien and the main character exchange numbers. The story isn't the slow burn, that's for sure. That is true, Aspen. They are moving full steam ahead into the romance, the complexity, the conversations. And I'm like, you have known this man for a day. You've known her longer. And you're already trying to hook her up with a guy that you don't even know. But it's fine. You have to at least a week or two to finally ask someone to hang out. I'm more of a slow burn too, Pass. I understand. And that's why I'm like, okay, it's cool. See what happens. It was like a ritual for her, like she was cleansing all the stress of the week from her body and soul with nothing but the sound of her own voice. Just as she was beginning the second choir, my experiment began, which was to say, Silver arrived at our table. I'm sorry, excuse me? This is a shoujo manga protagonist. What are you talking about? Okay, I gotta pause. First of all, this is Darien from Sailor Moon. This is like every freaking this is like every gacha game Prince character. What are you talking about? Like, look at the roses and the whole fit. This man has suspenders and a chain, a freaking chain. He's a chain on his pants and suspenders and roses with change and like a whole fit. This is an isekai character. And his name is Silver. Get me out of here. He's a gacha character in freaking like isekai. Where he's gacha draw and an isekai character, period. What do you mean? Girl, you got good taste though, because listen, if I saw a man like this when I was in my 20s, I would have been like clean, like what? Excuse me? Listen, y'all, I like Clyde from Final Fantasy 16 for a reason, okay? But either way, like what? I'm screeching. Anyway, I like his character design. He got red. Exactly, Paz. This is Kurama. This is younger Kurama before he dyed his hair and grew it out, pretty much. He definitely thinks he's Kurama. That's so funny. But in all seriousness, I do like his character design. That's interesting though. And I mean, hey, if you got it and you find it, you want to dress a particular way, I ain't mad at you. You want to dress like a shoujo manga protagonist, I'm cool with that. Glad you could make it. Silver, this is Damien, of course. Has someone decided to loosen their policy around public appearances? Just this once. The two exchanged a look I didn't quite understand. Feeling like an outsider, I turned my attention to Serenity on stage. It seemed she had caught sight of Silver. Her eyes widened and her nostrils flared. She even went a bit sharp as she moved into the bridge of the song, which she never did. I knew then that I was in so much trouble, but the thrill of potentially expanding my knowledge on the theory of love was so exciting I didn't care. Okay, girl, you kind of wrong, though, in that if she does like him and she told you not to, you wrong for that. You shouldn't do stuff so that you can do it for yourself. That's not great. But we gonna see how the story keeps going. I smirked and gave her a little wave. When her song was done, she walked straight over to the bar and ordered 2 beers. I watched as she took a deep breath before gathering the drinks and making her way back to our table. She sat down next to me a little closer than I was comfortable with in her attempt to get away from Silver. Oh, you got me a drink? You shouldn't have. I didn't. These are both for me. I've always admired a woman that can hold her alcohol. Oh, they might be one of them things where all these English names with the character represented shoujo character designs is funny. Exactly. Paz, it's so funny. But I don't mind, it's funny. I think it's interesting. I have a choice. So, yeah. I'm guessing Silver probably likes Serenity. And it's one of those things where maybe it's one of them things with like a woman, or like not a woman, it's not even a gender thing, but maybe like when someone comes on really strong and you don't trust it, so you kind of like get away from me, but then she like low-key likes him, so it's like the tit for tat type of thing. I don't know, but that's so interesting. She let out a snort like an angry bull. Well, I can't. I'm an insufferable drunk, so there. If it's any consolation, you're insufferable sober too. Dang! Alright, we're going for the jugular. We're going for it now. Damien cleared his throat, halting what surely would have become an all-out brawl in his tracks. Not his name being so... I'm not lying to you, Paz, when I say I thought about Silver the Hedgehog for a second, because I'm crying. So you're not wrong. So, Silver, I heard you have your hands quite full with Sterling Enterprises. I was surprised you found the time to join us this evening. Well, I ordinarily wouldn't slum it this way, but Aria said it would help with some research she's been working on for her psychology class. Is that so? A handsome boyish smirk spread across Damien's lips. Silver kind of always looked like he was smirking to me, so between the two of them was straight up a smirk off. Heh, smirk off. Are you supposed to say that out loud? Okay, that's a choice. What was that? Nothing. I'm gonna go grab a drink for myself. Damien, do you want anything? I'll come with you. Serenity grabbed my by the wrist as I moved to leave the table, wanking me down so she could whisper in my ear, "Don't leave me alone with this jerk." Why not? Afraid you'll fall madly in love with him? Ugh, as if... Just hurry. I'm crying? Okay. Aria tells me you're something of a marketing guru, is that right? I guess. Their voices faded behind us as we approached the bar. I ordered myself an Amaretto Sour, while Damien ordered a vodka on the rocks. Dang, he drinks hard liquor. Okay. While we waited, Damien leaned in close enough I could feel his breath on my neck. They are moving super quick. Like, y'all not even waiting. Y'all just going in, doing this flirtatious thing, happening without labels and stuff. It's fine. People could do whatever they want, but just going in. Okay. Heat creeped over my cheeks. I know what you're doing, and I want in. I'm screaming! I'm screaming! Y'all are just hooking up Serenity and, like, Silver, and they don't do it. Okay. This is happening. Just full steam ahead. Right into the plot. My heart raced a little faster. What are you talking about? Come on now. Don't play coy. We've been exploring the depths of each other's minds for some time now. You think you can turn that passionate hatred of hers into love, right? Well, and may not be what passion usually refers to, but it's emotionally very similar, right? Also, in all seriousness, y'all, if someone tells you that they don't want to do something, please listen to them the first time, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I know, like, in the context of the story, like, this is not, again, something that I'm ripping the game on. But in terms of, like, learning about people, please know when someone says no, they mean no, including this whole shenanigan where Serenity doesn't like Silver, even if she might like him in a way. It's up to her to make that decision. Aria can't make that choice for her and shouldn't make that choice for her. If I hear the phrase "it's no use" from Silver, I'm gonna laugh. I'm crying fast because yes, but yes, Serenity has to make the choice to move on her relationship if there is any inkling of romance with Silver. Aria can't make that choice for her. So don't make choices for people that they didn't ask you to make for them. That's all I'm saying. So I thought if we got them talking and see what happens, it could produce some fascinating results. No, not nearly as fascinating as your mind at work. I was glad the bartender arrived with our drinks, so I felt a rush of adrenaline when he said that, which left me incapable of forming an intelligent sentence. Seriously, respect your friends. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm joking and prodding, but in all seriousness, I'll, like, please respect your friends and their bodily autonomy. So if someone tells you they don't want to talk to somebody or you're not interested in something, don't push their boundaries on that, okay? So that's what I'm saying, like, in this particular instant, like, Aria's pushed on Serenity's boundaries a lot. So I've been going for the options where I don't, like, push anything because it's not my choice to make. Like, it's not Aria's choice to make Serenity go out with Silver. So, yeah. Serenity's got to sit down and think about her feelings so that she can come to the conclusion of whether or not she likes that person like that. Exactly, Paz. And that's essentially what I want to say in this situation, because it's like, Aria can't make that choice and shouldn't make that choice. You can't make choices for your friends like that. So, I have an idea. I'll meet you back at the table. Headed back to Silver and Serenity while Damien approached the karaoke jockey. All I'm saying is it's a good thing your daddy's leaving you so much money, because you're throwing half it away if you're not planning to invest a set in a strategic marketing plan. I didn't say I wouldn't invest at all. I just think you are vastly overestimating the actual return on the investment marketing actually provided a company of our size. You overestimate your return on the investment to the human race. Oh, real mature. Hey, you two. Having fun? Not even a little bit. In fact, I was just leaving. Just then, Damien returned to the table. So soon? Won't you at least give us the honor of one more song before you go? She was putty in his hands. Compliment Serenity on her singing, and she would do anything in the world you asked her to do. Well, if you insist. Any request? Have you seen the musical Peace? Wow, that's so old school. It's timeless and a masterpiece. So you both have, then? Yeah, I know it. Why? Because it looks like you're already up. All right. Everybody put your hands together for Silver and Serenity. We'll be singing You're the One That I Want from Peace. What? Damien and Aria are the chaotic couple who be doing the absolute most. Sis, what do you mean you made them do a duet that they didn't consent to? We don't do that. No, baby, no. I'm doing that black auntie thing. It's like, yo, do not make them do things that they didn't ask. Oh, they're gonna kill each other on the stage. Damien was so brilliant, I could have hugged him. No. I'm screeching right now. Even if we weren't able to get them to fall in love, seeing them act it out would make the whole evening worth it regardless. Why would you do that? No. What if I say no? Boundaries. Consent. Let's go. Then you're a coward who hates fun. I'm screeching. Oh my god. The jugular, man. He cowered at me for a moment before slowly rising his feet, making his way to the stage as we headed for the gallows. That's that pride, though. Because you could have just said no, Silver. You don't have to do nothing you want to do. Oh, man. Not to be outdone by him, Serenity followed. They were awkward and stiff at first. When Silver sang It's Electrifying, in spite of him being on pitch, it sounded more like he'd been electrified and was trying to recover. Serenity seemed to revel in the chance to outshine him on the stage. You better shape up, baby, because I need you. She used her curves as a weapon as she strutted around the stage. Silver stepped up his game, crawling at her feet like JT in the movie. For a moment, it looked like their passion had drifted across the line that divides hatred and physical love as they pressed against each other in the final chorus. Excuse me. I'm screeching past. People poking fun at their friends, but again, I'm just all about consent and boundaries. So I'm just looking at these folks like, you whippersnappers got to do better. I want you to do better! Damien and I looked on in amusement. Wow, that was too hot. Let's hear another round for applause. Oh, excuse me. Let me do my DJ. Wow, that was too hot. Let's hear another round of applause for Silver and Serenity. Serenity's eyes were sparking as she gave a polite little bow. Silver seemed to be in more of a rush to get off the stage, which meant what Serenity tripped on the stairs, he was in the perfect position to catch her. Oof! Careful there. Wouldn't want you to fall physically, at least. Bold. A man's gotta be. But you're super heavy, so I'm gonna put you down now. I'm crying. Well, now I'm definitely leaving. So close. It's progress. Might be an experiment worth continuing, wouldn't you say? Don't call this an experiment! Playing with people's lives! In spite of her claims, Serenity held out for another hour before leaving. It might have been my imagination, but I thought I even caught her smiling at Silver once or twice when he wasn't looking. It might have been the most fun I ever had going out, but it was exhausting. I got home pretty late that night and collapsed immediately into bed. I dreamed of gunshots and muffled screaming in the distance. Whoa! What? What? Slowly it moved closer until I was certain it must have been right outside my window. I got up to check. Damien was crouched in the bushes, shaking as he peered into the night. Damien? He looked up at me, leaning out the window, and smiled. He began to stand up. Suddenly there was a bang and a wound like a rose blowed across his forehead. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. Whoa, that was dark. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Woke up in a cold sweat with a dreadful case of cottonmouth. Ugh, my head hurts. I rolled over to find my phone and check the time. To my horror, the battery was dead, which meant the alarm hadn't gone off, which also meant I'm going to be late. I rushed out the door, not even having enough time to make myself lunch. I got to my seat right before the bell rang. Frazzled, I dug around in my bag looking for my pen and notebook. Even after the teacher started to speak, I was so distracted that it took me a moment to notice the paper on the corner of my desk with Serenity's messy scrawl across the top. Thought you'd get out of trouble with me if you were late, huh? I grinned, groggy as it left me that morning. It was impossible to deny we'd had a great time. I decided to play dumb when I wrote back. Trouble? For what? Bad hangover dream? True! It might be a bad hangover dream. I heard Serenity let out a frustrated tisk, followed by a rapid scribbling. She passed the sheet back to me. For bringing Prince Charming over to the karaoke last night, obviously, so you admit it, you think he's really charming? You know that's not what I meant. What's the problem? You two seem to be having fun. I always have fun at karaoke. That doesn't count. Do you also swoon to the arms of some Prince Charming every time you go to karaoke? You're Silver special. I tripped and fell. That doesn't count. She had underlined the last 3 words several times. I snickered. It seemed like I might have been on something with this little experiment of mine after all. It's fascinating how hunger seemed to slow the whole world down. The rest of the school day leading up to lunch might as well have been stretched across an entire week. My head felt cloudy, my stomach was rumbling. Worst of all, I left my purse in my dorm room. Yeah, again, I think, as to your point, the bad hangover dream as well. I have never had alcohol in my entire life, so I have no idea what those feel like, but I know they're bad. Hearing from friends and mutuals who have drunk, and when I go to parties and people wake up the next day. By the time I walked up there to grab it, my hour break would already be over. Maybe I can shake some snacks out of the vending machine or something. I was deep in the thought when I bumped into Damien. Aria! What a pleasant surprise. It appears my class is right down the hall from yours. Lovely. Thanks again for joining. I've never had a hangover, so it's a mystery to me. No worries, that's fair. Same thing, I've had a few people in my life say that too, that they don't really have hangovers. And also, yeah, I'm reading the script verbatim, but just know I don't use certain words in my vocabulary. Like, I don't use, like, ableist words and stuff too, so I hope folks know if I'm reading something out of the dialogue, I'm reading verbatim in terms of some of the script work, but just know I will not read certain words that are offensive or say them in my own lexicon personally. Just want to point that out. So, well, this just won't do. You'll have to accompany me for lunch. Simply can't have you going hungry. Do you like hibachi? I've never had hibachi before. Then you're gonna love it. Everything looked delicious. Now they're making me hungry. Why would you do that, game? I'm gonna pause for a second so I have popcorn in front of me. I'm gonna nibble for a second. They are full speed aheading with the story though. There is no stopping. The slowdown is not happening. It is for real. But the story's good so far. I'm not mad. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just gonna nibble for a second. So I'm gonna put myself on pause. Enjoy the ambience of the movie's music for a second. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I don't really know how long this demo is supposed to be, but it's interesting so far, I will say that. Too delicious. I wanted one of everything from the looks, but I could only afford a crab rangoon appetizer. Feel free to get anything you'd like. Are you absolutely sure? But of course. My mouth began to water. It was hard to believe that merely 10 minutes ago I thought I was going to have to settle for a handful of trail mix for lunch. I'll have a platter of crab rangoons, half a gallon of miso soup, and for the entrees. Entrees? I'll have the scallop and steak combo. I guess you really were hungry. I'll do a steak entree as well. Can you also bring us some calamari? Oh, and no soup for me. The server brought out our appetizers and the chef began to set up behind the grill. Oh, actually, you know what? Silver's actually a choice for us to romance? Oh, that's messy. Oh, that's messy. Okay, so for context, there are 5 characters that you can romance as Aria. We've met 2. Damien and Silver are choices for her. Oh. Well, that's messy. That's messy. Now tell me why you haven't been taking care. Is it... Oh, wait, I need to go back. I missed it. Now tell me why it is you haven't been taking care of yourself. What do you mean? You didn't eat this morning and you look like you didn't sleep at all last night. Well, we were out late, but actually I did have some nightmares last night. Oh? Nightmares about what? Well, it was about you. You seem embarrassed. Well, yeah. There's something so peculiar about seeing someone you know in your real life in your dreams. I've always thought it was strangely intimate. Oh, y'all are gonna have a moment in the middle of this hibachi restaurant. I'm screaming. You whippersnappers and your shenanigans, doing things in the middle of public. I drew back. Was this the feeling of intimacy? What else could it mean to know someone's face so well you could see it in your dreams? What was it about? I shivered. It was ghastly. You were being hunted like some kind of wild animal, and it was my fault they found you. You mean to say I died in your arms? How cliche and romantic. I'm screeching. I'm crying. Hey, who wants to do the shrimp catch? Out of the 10 shrimp the chef tossed, a total of 3 ended up in our mouths. Hey, big guy, showing up fashionably late, eh? Well, yes, I don't believe I'll be staying long. What is happening? At the sound of the man's voice, Damien's shoulders tensed. I felt someone sit down beside me. When I turned, I saw an edgy-looking man with soft cheeks and sharp brows at my side. I had no idea a man could look so jolly yet so sinister at the same time. Can we talk about the music, though, y'all? Shout out to the developers. Y'all went hard in the paint with the music. Hello? Do y'all hear this? Come on. Like, that's so lit. I'm not mad. I love good music. Damien, my old friend. I was afraid you've been avoiding me. I've never seen you before in my life. And yet I know your name. Oh dear, what could that mean? For a moment, I thought he jabbed me with his finger, but I looked down. I saw there was a gun pressed against my ribs. Oh my word! What? What do you think it means, old lady? I felt tears welling in my eyes. How did we get here? Was that dream like a future sight thing? Because what are you talking about? How could this already be the end? It means someone sends you to kill me. What? Ding, ding, ding. Such a smart young man. Well, if that's true, that would mean your business is with me and not my dear friend there. So if you wouldn't mind, Damien began to reach across the table. The man jabbed the gun harder into my side. That's what I'm saying, Paz. Like, what you talking about? Is this man like, what is happening? How did we get here? Hey, watch it. Here's what's gonna happen. Damien glared at the man with intensity I'd never seen another person before. You and your lady friend are gonna follow me into the back. There's an unmarked car waiting for us. Both of you are gonna calmly and peacefully get into the car with me, and we're gonna take a drive out into the country. Understand? Damien nodded slowly. He looked into my eyes as though pleading for me to do something. Again, Paz, the million-dollar question. What is happening? I didn't understand until he cleared his throat and looked down at his hands. He was pointing to the left with 3 fingers, then 2 fingers. I said before he could finish, Damien had kicked his chair out from under him as I dodged to the left just as he had signaled. The gun went off and I felt a burning pain in my side. Oh my God, she's getting shot. What are you talking about? I fell to the ground, rolling underneath the table to stay out of the way. It was absolute chaos. I could hear the sounds of families scurrying away from their tables, mothers frankly trying to hush their crying babies, all while Damien grunted and struggled with the man. I was keenly aware that in this moment I could die. And to my surprise, I was more shaken at the thought that Damien could die here. That if I survived and he didn't, I would never see his adorable smirk again. Okay, in all seriousness, we just met Damien, and then this is popping off. What do you mean? We just met. And you have someone who's trying to kill you? What? What in the anime is happening right now? I am so confused. Also, where are your parents? Where are your parents? And to get to hear more of his thoughts about love or gossip with him and about silver and serenity, something inside me broke. I felt tears streaming down my cheeks and from the world went white and silent. When I regained consciousness, I saw Damien across the room talking to the police. Silver brought me water and assured me our meal would be on the house. I sat there dazed until Damien returned to me. Let's get out of here. You don't have to stay for like an investigation or something. It's all taken care of. Don't worry about that now. He helped me up and kept me steady as we walked to his car. I should have been more careful. How are you supposed to know someone was following you? Because I'm supposed to be a professional. Professional what? Doesn't matter. This man's a professional assassin. This dude is an assassin. I think y'all called it. This man is not he's an assassin. I'll have to be more vigilant. I don't understand. You don't need to. You should get some rest today. Let me take you home. How do you expect me to forget what just happened? He took my shaking hands in his steady palms and rested his forehead against mine. I'm sorry. What are you? You just met, and I'm pretty sure this man's like an assassin or something. Mafia, I don't know. Girl, I got you up in a tizzy. I ain't mean to do that. I should have gone to the library to look up books. We made decisions. We made decisions. This is what's happened. I'm sorry. You're the last person I want to ever see get hurt, Aria. He caressed the back of my hands with his warm fingers, checking to see if I had any wounds. I began to tear up at his touch when he pressed a kiss to my knuckles, patting my hair softly. You all just met. The only tears I want to see from you are tears of happiness. We didn't speak on the drive home, but he held my hand the entire time. I didn't see or hear from Damien for days after that, but I thought I could hear him. Around every corner, I was sure I could hear his laugh. You all are falling in love very quick. It's very fast. I think it's only been a couple of days. I think it's only been 2 days, actually. What? Girl, if I were my child, I'd be like, listen, sis, I love you. But, I don't know about this. Lois. A little perturbed. I checked my phone every minute to see if I had anything from him, and nothing ever came. Hello? Are you even hearing me, Chica? Embarrassed, I tucked my phone away back into my bag. We were walking to lunch. I wasn't very hungry, but I didn't feel like being alone just then. Sorry, what were you saying? I was asking if you wanted to come with me and Silver to karaoke tonight. You both? Also, it did happen. Y'all did decide to be a couple. You invited Silver yourself? That's all you have to say? What happened to my pain in the butt best friend? In spite of myself, I did smile a bit. I guess I just don't know what to say about your inevitable second date. Seriously, what's going on? You haven't been yourself in the last few days, and you look like you haven't been sleeping. Do you want to talk about it? What had happened at the restaurant the other day felt like an entire lifetime ago. I feel like I'm a different person. But now that Damien had stopped talking to me, no matter how sweet our last conversation had been, I couldn't shake the feeling that this different person I'd become was no longer of use to him. Excuse me? No, we're not talking about ourselves like that. First of all, you got shot at. So I want you to, I really hope somebody, I hope she talks to her friend, but also getting some help, because that's not something that you can just casually jump back to, particularly at your age, or any age for that matter. And like, what? No, absolutely not. I relayed all of this to Serenity, who leaned in to hug me. I awkwardly wrapped my arms around her waist in response. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's no big deal. It was scary, but it's not like it's still happening. The moment was cut short by a loud honk. We turned to see what was happening and saw a car headed straight for us. Oh my God! I squeaked and shut my eyes tight. I couldn't believe this was going to be how it ended. We braced ourselves for impact, but it never came. What in the Marvel is happening? What? This is the Scarlet Witch. What? I opened my eyes and saw a tall, curvy, but muscular woman standing right in front of us. What is this scenario? The car seemed to be gone until I realized this woman had hoisted it into the air. She waited for the wheels to stop spinning before placing it gently back on the ground. You girls all right? Holy moly, I guess. That was amazing. How did you do that? She calls it her Ganbare gym routine? It's based on her favorite anime. What are you talking about? I'm screeching! Does it actually work? See for yourself. He flexed his muscles. They did look impressive. He stopped abruptly and went, what? Sometimes I think it works a little too well. He winced as the woman put her arm around his neck. Hey, no pain, no gain, baby. He softened up and looked at her with what I could only call worship. So, what do we call our saver? I mean, other than... What? The amount of, like, tropes that this game went towards, I was not prepared for. I'm screeching. I'm Layla. And this here is my favorite boy tie. Okay, so... I don't think you can be queer in this game, but Ty is one of the romantic choices, so you can date him. If you see a spare of him lying around, that's just his twin brother. There was another honk from a little ways away, but not nearly as urgent as the one from the car that almost hit us. I looked around Layla and did indeed see another very similar, a bit less muscular man sitting in the passenger seat. Listen, we've got to hang out sometimes. I can't just not get to know the gal that saved our lives. Plus, I want to get in on this workout routine of yours. Those are some serious results. Sure are. I don't think if you work out as hard as you can block a car from hitting somebody, but we're not gonna talk about it. That's not normal. Anyway, I'm totally gonna crush our enemies at this weekend. He stomped as he said this, which proved to be a mistake. Owie. He collapsed to the ground in a heap. I'm screeching. Layla, a little help? Poor little guy. She scooped him up over the con, set him in the back of the car. You want me to buckle your seatbelt for you too, champ? No, I got it. Come on, don't be so gloomy. I'm only making fun. She patted him on the head and closed the door behind her. We've got to get going, but I'd never say no to a new friend. Here's my number. Hit me up sometime. She handed her a card. It said, Layla, personal trainer, be anime. Be anime hot? In big dramatic strokes. What did it say? Brush strokes. Thanks. I'll totally call you. Layla smiled and waved goodbye as she climbed to the front seat of her car. What do you think, boys? I'm crying at the ice cream mention? Tanner and Ty. Okay. Talking about some yeehaw. He watched it. No, she drove away. Man, she was really something, wasn't she? I fumbled with my bag to pull out my phone. I ended up spilling half the contents onto the ground. I didn't even bother to look at them, desperate to see who the notification was from. I lit up. It's him! With shaking hands, I opened his message. If we want to keep spending time together, I have to come clean about something. Please come over tonight. I really need to talk to you. He wants me to come over tonight. I've never been to his place before. Alone? Just the two of you at his house? Should I expect something at 9 to 10? Why? Why? The twists and turns this visual novel's taking me in the matter of an hour and some change is wild. What? No, whatever. So no karaoke for you, I guess. Don't worry, I understand. I don't even know if I'm going to go. You know, you could offer to go with her since the whole thing with her getting shot at was with Damien. I'm just saying. No? I don't know. I'm worried about her health and safety. That's all I'm saying, Chad. That's all I'm saying. You mowing around this guy for days now that he's practically throw himself at you. You're not interested anymore? It's not that. It's just something kind of scary happened the other day. I don't know whether he's a good person for me to be getting involved with or not, you know? Did he do something to you? Because I swear to crispy chicken, I'll strangle him to death with his own stylish cashmere sweater. Thank you. Because again, like, whole shenanigans just happened. I need her to be protected because I'm a little bit worried. Why won't you go with her? Like, wait outside in the car or something. So if she got a lips, y'all can just scamper up out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the power of friendship. Of course not. I'm still processing, I guess. If I can't talk about it with you, I don't know how I'll be able to talk about it with him. Maybe you don't have to talk. Maybe you should just listen to what he has to say. My mom says that when she's loved about my dad, he doesn't always know the right thing to say, but he always knows how to listen. The rest of lunch was thankfully very dull. You just got shot at and almost got hit by a car. Your life right now. Excuse me, ma'am? That evening I stood in front of Damien's house. It was smaller than I expected. The paint on the door was peeling slightly. Before I could knock, he threw the door open and pulled me into his arms. I'm screeching. The music... The soundtrack for this game is actually really, really good. I'm actually not mad about that at all. Aria, I'm so happy you're here. Well, if you had a good reason for ghosting me, I wanted to hear it in person. So you want to get right into it. Please come right inside. Please come inside. His living space was tighter than the scruffier exterior of the house implied. He gestured for me to have a seat out opposite him on the couch. I perched myself uncomfortably on its edge, ready to jump up and leave the minute this was over. He ran his hands through his hair a few times before taking a deep breath. You can't tell anyone what I'm about to tell you. Not even Serenity. You just met her too. Should you be telling her all this information right now? Y'all just met. Okay. We'll just go with it. Can you agree to this? That depends. How bad is it? Did you kill someone or something? Damien had a blank stare and there was complete silence. I had meant to make him laugh, but he looked at me with wide, haunted eyes. The color seemed to have drained from his face. Damien? Damien? Damien was unresponsive and a cold sweat dropped from his temple. I promise I won't judge. I don't think you can promise that, but we'll hear him out. I wasn't always interested in academia. I was still fascinated with psychology, but it was more of an interesting discussion I'd like to have with my best friend Gray rather than something I wanted to pursue a career in. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. It's okay. I'm here to listen. He was on the verge of tears and took a moment to cradle his head in his hands before taking a deep breath and continuing. I wasn't always interested in academia. I was still fascinated with psychology. Oh, didn't I just do this one? Maybe it repeated. Gray and I did everything together, so when it came to time to decide what we do after high school, of course we made that decision together. We decided we'd join the military. We'd just become the heroes we'd heard so much on the news growing up, protecting the peace and lives of our countrymen. We trained hard our entire senior year to prepare for basic training. I think I spent more time around him than my own parents that year. That didn't change when we were finally enlisted. We fought by each other's sides at the very end. His voice cracked. He hesitantly reached out to grab his hand. It felt awkward, but I knew it was the right thing to do. He swallowed and continued. We were in enemy territory that day. The sun was high and cover was scarce. The heat alone probably could have killed us, but it was a minefield that really did the trick. One that I triggered and Gray saved me from, at the cost of his own life. He sat in silence for a moment. He seemed to be someplace far away from me. I waited for him to continue, but he didn't. I'm so sorry it happened, Damien. I don't know what else to say, but thank you for telling me. He pulled away from me. Aria, I've been trained to handle some dangerous people. It's important to me that you know I do everything for the better of others and society at large, but you also need to know my hands are tainted with blood that can never be washed away, and all of it means nothing if I can't protect the people I care about. I couldn't protect Gray, and I couldn't protect you. I didn't ask you to. I know, but I want to, and I'm terrified that I won't be able to. After my enlistment was up, I tried to reintegrate into society, but I didn't know how to do much of anything. I had joined the military when I was 18, and all I'd learned was how to kill. Not exactly something you could put on a resume as a relevant skill when looking for civilian work. Fortunately, I was very good at what I did, so they let me keep doing it more privately. I can't go into details, but I do still work for the government. Unfortunately, this line of work has made me a lot of enemies like the gentleman we met the other day. What I'm trying to get here is that I love your company more than anything, Aria, but if the risk isn't worth the reward to you, I understand this is where we part ways. I looked deep into his beautiful eyes, which were full of sorrow, much like Serenity's dad. I didn't know the right thing to say. Gray wouldn't have saved you that day if he didn't care for you, and if you keep punishing yourself over this sacrifice, it will have been in vain. A long moment of silence passed between us before he spoke again. Thank you, Aria. I want to believe he's in a better place right now, but I'll never know until my time comes. Could I have some time to chew this over? It's kind of a lot. Of course. I understand completely. Thank you for sitting through all of it. He walked me to the door and gave me a hug. Hugs weren't really my thing, but I managed to awkwardly pat him on the back. To my surprise, he was actually kind of nice. Not just the hug, but the conversation, too. As he closed the door behind me, I breathed a sign of relief. Geez, you look even worse than you did yesterday. How'd the talk go? I just said nothing back to her at all. Evidently, she took it as a challenge and poked my nose continuously. Boop, 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 boop. I jerked my head back. You look like you have a double chin when you do that. Oh. I'm crying. Okay, fine. Is this better? I pulled a face like I'd eat something impossibly sour, my cheekbones protruding as I sucked my cheeks in between my teeth. We both lost it and broke out laughing. It's always nice to see you laugh, Aria. I guess so. I know so. But seriously, how did it go last night? Nothing much. Are you sure? I'm sure. Are you sure you're sure? I said I'm sure. Okay. But are you sure you're sure you're sure? She definitely doesn't know how to stop. Her manipulation tactics are so evil yet so effective. Fine, yes, something happened, but it's not my place to talk about it. Well, why didn't you say so? You know I can respect that. The world's most intense human being can respect boundaries. Who knew? Oh, shush. Yeah, you know something fun can take that off? Hey, you know something fun that can take that off your mind? I don't know how she expects anyone to keep up with her tomfoolery, I groaned. Hearing the word tomfoolery, I'm crying. What now? She shows me a picture on my phone with an Instagram post that tagged her, inviting her to a certain party. The post displays a grand mansion with the majestic fountain. How did you get invited to that? And are you sure it's legit? Seems pretty sketchy to get a public invite on social media. Let's just say a certain idiot just has to have me there. So you've been warming up the silver, eh? Careful. Keep getting lippy and I won't let you be my +1. I never said I wanted to go. Yeah, but I'm your bestie. I know what you meant. We have a secret language. It's pointless to argue. I was beginning to think a best friend might just be someone who annoys you to no end, but still makes good company. Fine. See you after school, I guess. Okay. Oh, cheer up. It'll be fun. Yeah, we still have 2 more people to meet. That's so interesting. Aria. I had just gotten to the cafe for lunch. I wasn't surprised to see him there. Part of me was hoping for it. Damien, it's good to see you. Do you mind if I join you? By all means. He sat down across from me. We were both silent for a moment. There was so much to be said, but no, there were no words that felt big enough to say it all. I've been thinking about everything you told me yesterday. I'm sure. I guess what I'm wondering is, why didn't you tell me sooner? Girl, you just met him! He can't just tell you his life story in the first meeting! What are you doing? No! Girl, especially that? Are you kidding? And there's a lot to be said in terms of Damien's background, in terms of what we revealed. There's not even enough time to deconstruct that in itself. But holy cannoli. Jeez. It's a lot. How could I ever have hoped to understand your feelings on love when I barely knew who you were or where you'd been? You just met him, though. How are you supposed to understand that stuff in 48 hours? No, sis. No. I hear you. For what it's worth, I wasn't trying to keep it a secret from you because I don't trust you. I was trying to keep us both safe, which I guess didn't go precisely as planned. I understand if you no longer wish to speak with me. Panic fluttered around the inside of my chest like a frightened bird. What? I never said that. Oh, I just assumed. Look, you're not the only one with skeletons in the closet. I'm sure you've noticed that getting close to people is hard for me. I never really know what anyone's intentions are, and if I can't be entirely certain of those, I can't move forward. Every word, every action, I have to try to look at it objectively. I wish I could be more like Serenity and just put my whole self out there, but my whole self has been trying to heal for a long time. If you want to talk about it, I owe you one good long listening session, and I owe you one sad story. I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about it, but I was sure I wanted him to know, so I took a moment to center myself and dove into a story I'd never spoken out loud to anyone else. When I was still in high school, I was asked on a date by someone others might have called way out of my league. Handsome, athletic, and apparently cruel. He was never really interested in me. He just wanted to make a fool out of me for his own amusement, and maybe I deserved it, because like a fool I saw it coming and played right into his hand anyway. The past is a shadow that clings to my steps, a constant reminder of the walls I built around my heart. It's been 5 years that the sting of betrayal feels as fresh as it were yesterday. She's 21, so that would have been when she was 16? Yeah, 16. Jezebel's words were a fluttering butterfly in my stomach, a flicker of hope that I dared not trust. Could it be true? Ike, with his charming smile and easy laughter, interested in me? No, it's safer to doubt than to be a fool again. Ike's confession was a sweet melody, but to my ears it seemed like a prologue to a tragic ballad. His words are warm, but is there a chill in his eyes? I agree, but my heart holds back, bracing for the fall. This given that time when you're in high school, you start writing the most emo poetry in all of existence for all your big feelings when you're that age. This is what this dialogue reminds me of. So the timing, like the writing of it in terms of this age demographic is really interesting. 1 month later, the laughter of the boys was a cold wind, and Ike's words were the frost that withered my last bloom of trust. That is the most emo thing. So the butterfly was a moth drawn to a deceptive flame. I should have known. The grain of salt becomes a pillar, and I am encased within it. As I confront them, my voice is steady, my shield is indifference. I walk away, leaving behind the ashes what never was. I'm crying. This girl is writing like a freaking Linkin Park song. His anger is a fire that cannot touch me. I am a phoenix rising from the pain, soaring towards a future where trust must be earned and love is not a game. I couldn't place Damien's expression. On the surface, it looked like he was glaring at me, but in his eyes, it was something soft and warm. I don't think we can compare, even though I'm not belittling her feelings about going with what she's going through. And Damien lost, you know what, it's just interesting. I'd seen pity up close and personal more than once in life. This wasn't it. After a long pause, he broke the silence with a deep sigh that roared on a growl. Incorrect. No one deserves to be treated that way, and you couldn't have been expected to know how it would end. After all, it's almost unthinkable that any person could act so brutishly. To me, it sounds like you were the one that was out of his league. You have a good heart, Aria. And I'm so glad you decided to share a little piece of it with me. Well, it was the least I could do. If you want me to know all of you. I paused. I'd never been this vulnerable before, and it was getting exhausting. I'm screeching. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say it's interesting. Okay. I collected myself and letting him hang there, and into space I sipped my drink. Then I suppose this only makes sense that I give you the chance to know all of me. You really are a peculiar girl. It's part of my charm. We laughed and talked together until it was time to get back to class. See, Aria, it isn't that hard to use your words to solve problems. I'm so proud of you. We were driving to Silver's party where I brought her up to speed on my situation with Damien. The GPS said it was at least half an hour to Silver's mansion, maybe more with traffic, so we had the time. Right? Yeah, we had the time. Okay. I paused for a moment when I got to park with Ike, wondering how to finish the story without sharing this crucial detail, but I'd already told my secret once that day, so I knew it wouldn't kill me to tell it again. So I just told my best friend. It seems that's what best friends did. It's what I wanted to do. That Ike guy, by the way, total. I'm screeching at this. I'm crying. It reminds me of that meme from TikTok. Like, I'm just completely forever screeching. He didn't deserve you. Damien said the same thing. You guys are adorable. Almost as adorable as you and Silver. They're speed running these relationships. I'm screeching. She paused for a moment, a smirk spreading across her face. I almost thought she was fluently about to admit she liked him. I waited earnestly to find out if my hypothesis had been correct. She seemed to change her mind at the last moment. Oh, hush. She slowed down to pull into the circular driveway that laid in front of the mansion. It was almost big enough to be called a parking lot. It was the kind of place you'd only expect to see in movies, not something you'd just be able to walk into. I felt like we were going to get scolded at any moment just for being there. The party is here, my dear guest. Silver had evidently hired a DJ, and the sound of dancing filled the halls. Serenity grabbed my hand. I do like the background stuff. It's cool. Come on, let's dance, Aria. I unenthusiastically attempted to copy her movement, but it was no use. I was so distractingly bad that I could feel people staring all around the room. Seems like somebody has 2 left feet. Big talk from someone who totally froze on stage at karaoke the other night. What's the matter? Can't compete with my moves? Please, is that what you call that flailing you were doing? Yeah, I'm clearly the better dancer. Tell him, Aria. Please leave me out of this. There's only one way we can put it to the test. They're doing that thing that some people do where they don't really actually hate each other. They just like each other and they just won't admit it out loud type of thing. But again, good on them for just being like, we're going for it. We're going to move full speed on terms of shenanigans. And what's that? Silver grabbed her by the hand. She played it cool, but I couldn't help but notice the tips of her ears turn a little pink. Watch closely, Aria. I want this settled once and for all. I tried to pay attention, but I was standing in the middle of that dance for myself, staring at another couple like a weirdo. It was hard to focus while feeling so self-conscious. I'd been told that it'd be fun at parties, but I think that was just a lie. I made my way to the edge of the dance floor. Near Serenity and Silver, Layla was lifting Ty in the air as though they were figure skaters. As the song progressed, Ty's dancing became more energetic. He was spinning and jumping until he nearly fell. Layla then caught Ty with its tangle-like movement. For a moment, I felt a bit of pity for Tanner. They stared in each other's eyes just as Layla leaned in for a kiss. Ty dipped away and kept dancing. So they like each other. And maybe Tanner likes her? But it's a love triangle? Okay. Well, you didn't seem to notice her advance. So you don't know that she likes you, but Tanner likes her who likes you. Oh, love triangles. Oh boy. Head empty. Just fear vibes. Oh no. I think I gotta admit defeat. The chemistry between them is palpable. Oh, so you do like her. Okay. I beg your pardon? Oh, my bad. It's nothing. It's just I'm feeling like a sore loser. I blinked back, unsure what to say. So you're alone too? No, I mean, I'm here with Serenity. She's just busy right now. In that case, may I have this dance, miss? I hesitate, looking around the room for Damien, but it doesn't seem like he's arrived yet. Why not? And it's Aria. Sweet. I'm Tanner. Muscular, you say. You have my attention. I'm screaming! Geeky coming out just to say that! Yeah, Layla is muscular and she wants to train to be, as she said in her own words, anime hot. So I'm crying. I couldn't help but notice that Tanner was looking over my shoulder the whole time at Layla and Ty. I would have been offended, but I was busy looking over her shoulder for Damien. Wow, you're really bad at this. I thought that was already established. Looks like there's someone that wants to cut in. I believe I'm needed elsewhere. Thank you for the dance, though, Miss Aria. I feel a little bit better, at least. I felt a tap on my shoulder. Naturally, Damien was there grinning at me when I looked around. I feel the self-consciousness kicking again. Will he still like me even though I dance like an electric giraffe? That descriptor was crying. Let me show you a thing or two. He held his hand, inviting me to dance. My hand was shaking a bit as I took his. He kissed my fingertips, and our improv dance lesson began. He showed me where my hand should go relative to his and explained how to follow his lead. I still trip over his feet every now and then, but eventually I get the hang of it. He had a very sturdy grip that was somehow also soft and comforting, which was good because there were several points at which I nearly fell down. He was a very patient teacher. So, who's a better dancer, me or him? I'm so bad I can't tell the difference. Wait, is somebody feeling a little jealous? Should I be? A moment later, we were right next to Silver and Serenity again. Mihai, you must be a fast learner. Thanks, but I just had a good teacher. Well, Damon, you're clearly a very capable teacher, so maybe you'd be a good judge of talent. Between myself and Serenity, which would you say is the better dancer? Well, you both have good form, and you seem to have time playing pretty well. So I'd say you're about equal. Oh, yeah? Watch this. Silver suddenly moved to twirl Serenity. It seemed he was expecting for her to fall because there was a look of faint surprise on his face as she twisted out and back into his arms. Okay, so maybe you're a little good at dancing. I guess we can call it even just this once. Serenity was always smiling, but I'd never seen her smile quite like she did then. Now that's what I like to hear. We all danced late into the night. I woke up the next morning feeling refreshed and a bit giddy. It was incredible how something as simple as an act of kindness from Damien could make my entire night. Yeah, she's definitely smitten. She's not coming back. Plus, I knew how to dance now, which was something I never thought I'd be able to do. Good for you on that, sis. Serenity looked excited as usual when I took my seat next to her. Hey, guess who I ran into at the party last night? There was like a million people there. That could be anyone. Serenity rolls her eyes. You were that girl, Layla? We were talking about how no one does summer parties anymore once you get to college and how. So I told her we should have a summer party. Wouldn't that be fun? Do I even have a choice? Serenity sighed and flipped her hair dramatically. Oh, I'm Aria. I have such a deep soul, and I'm always so sad. I act like I'm too cool for my best friend, even though I love her very much, and I almost spend so much time with her. I don't sound like that. Oh, please, you know that was spot on. Yeah, sure. You gotta love when people make us impressions of you. Like, they just go straight for you, being like, I don't sound like that. And I'm like, yes, you do. And it's wild. I think of that moment of How to Train Your Dragon with Astrid and Hiccup, where they're having a moment, and Astrid's just, making fun of Hiccup, and Hiccup's like, I don't sound like that. And she's like, you totally do. And then Hiccup's doing an impression of his dad. It's just a great moment in that movie. And shout out to those of you who like How to Train Your Dragon, because it's a really great film series. Anyways, you're really good to enjoy it, and I know you have nothing planned today, so why not? Plus, don't you think it'd be good for you to branch out and make some more friends? I hated that this goofiness of hers always seemed to work on me, softening to the idea I had no choice but to admit that I was in fact otherwise occupied that evening. Well, I guess I don't really have anything better to do. Yay, I promise it won't disappoint. After class, I was prepared to scurry home as quickly as I could to get myself ready for that evening. Serenity was right. No one did summer parties in college, and I personally hadn't been to one since middle school. I wanted plenty of time to think about what to bring with me. Aria! Serenity! Layla ran up to us, her usual energetic self. Alright, are we ready to go? Wait, I'm confused. Don't summer parties happen overnight? It may have been a long time since my last one, but I was certain that much was true. Oh, did I forget to mention? We're going to do some karaoke first. Just us girls this time. We sang an ensemble piece. They're both killing it, but I sang a more quiet harmony part. I'm not bad, but they were both so good I didn't want to stand out. Oh my gosh, Aria, who knew you had such a lovely voice, right? Isn't it adorable? Totally adorable. My face went slightly red at that moment. I'm here for, friendship, so that's cute. The absolute nerve. By the time we left the karaoke club, the sun was already setting. Now that it's dark out, is it fine by you to start that summer party? I guess it better be. Good. There's just one problem. Where are we having it? What do you mean? Oh, well, Layla has a pretty big family, and, I live in a dorm. So you invited me to a summer party without even having a place to hold it? Guess we'll have to sleep outside then. What? No way! What if someone saw us and took our stuff while we were sleeping? I kicked their butt, that's what. Please, Aria, can we spend the night at your place? Well, I guess if you insist. I mean, y'all could just ask before y'all went to karaoke if you could just go to Aria's place to sleep over, but that's fine in terms of asking. At least I wouldn't have to worry about what to pack. It'd been a while since I'd had company, but I was always prepared. I didn't own much, which meant I didn't have much to make a mess with. When we arrived at my place, Layla seemed floored. Well, I think this is the cleanest room I've ever been in. Girlfriend's doing minimalism right. After Layla and Serenity have dropped their bags, gotten comfortable, the summer party proper began. Yeah. It's time to play some games. You know what that means? Do I? Obviously, it's time for some old school truth or dare. I'm screaming. It always goes to truth or dare. Or never have I ever. I'm screeching. How does that work? They both gape at me. Wait, you sincerely never played before? I shook my head. Oh gosh. Okay, well, we all take turns being asked truth or dare. And then depending on which one you pick, you have to either answer a question or take a dare. How do you win? Sometimes the game is its own reward. It didn't sound that rewarding to me, but I decided to go along with it. I'm screeching. Okay, Aria, since it's your first time, you can go for truth or dare. Dare, I guess. Oh, my. We already have a dare. You got some serious guts. Okay. I dare you to text Damien I love you. Oh, my God. Again. Y'all just started dating. They love putting each other in these really, scenarios. Goodness gracious. Oh, I can go back and forth with my mouse. I didn't know that. But why? I don't get it. Serenity put her hand on her forehead, impatient. She spoke slowly. You picked dare, so you have to do whatever we tell you to do. Okay, fine. I picked truth then. Serenity poked my cheek. No takesy backs. Takesies backsies. Oh, God. What? Why? Because them's the rules, kid. I'm sorry, but that's not something I could do. Serenity knows why. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the high school thing. Yeah. High school thing? I was getting really sick of retelling the story, but I figured one more time couldn't hurt. To my surprise, it got even easier that time. Maybe there was something to talking about instead of keeping it buried. Still, I couldn't do it. Oh, yeah, I can see why that might be a lot. I'm sorry, Aria. I didn't even think about it. That's okay. I just don't want to accidentally hurt someone by saying something I'm not ready to just because of some game. Good on you. Don't do anything you're not comfortable doing. So, Well, in that case, I'll take you there. Say what now? Layla texted the group with her, and the twins reading it out loud as she did. I love you, baby boy, sparkling heart emoji. Make sure to get a good night's rest. Oh my goodness, the naughty says the balls on you. That's some big meow energy. I'm screeching at this dialogue. What does that even mean? My millennial might be showing, because I'm just like, what? They were laughing too hard to explain. I sign. These two together was too much. It's like they were twins. I felt a little jealous. How about this instead? How about we tell each other who we like? I mean, we already know who Layla likes, obviously, but are you finally going to admit you like Silver? What? No way! Ty is more my type. Oh! Okay, so this is messy. So Damien likes Aria. Silver pokes fun at Serenity. Serenity likes Ty. Ty likes Layla. Layla, I think, likes Ty. And then Tanner likes Layla. Oh! The complication. But the tips of her ears turn pink again, so I know better. Oh, you absolute liar. There's something between you and Silver, and you know it. Wait a minute, do you really like Ty? Sorry, I know you guys are dating, but he's really cute. You think we're dating? You're not? I wish. They just see me as a guy's girl. Fun to be around, but not worth dating. But I don't want to change myself, so I guess I'll be remaining single. You can't seriously be that oblivious. What do you mean? Well, for one thing, I hear from the boys in the football and soccer team that the guy who ends up with you would be so lucky, and they're right, of course. They also tell me there's two guys who are always trying to get your attention. Really? No way, who? We both stare back at her in disbelief. Do you think guys typically dance all night with girls they aren't into? Plus, Tanner was watching you two getting all bummed out because of how much chemistry the two of you had. Me and Ty. No way, he's never shown any interest in me. I feel like the boys are intimidated by me. Well, you know what they say. I mean, the amount of phrases in this visual novel is making me crack up so bad. Not to think that I save lives! Layla blushed a little. Huh, so she does know shame. Serenity seems unbothered by her uncharacteristic shyness. I'm crying. Well, hold on. If he likes me so much, why didn't he kiss me at the party when he had the chance? You are totally reading this wrong. Why don't you ask him the next time you see him? What if it makes things weird? Well, you know what? You don't have to. You don't have a choice because I'm daring you to do it. Fine, maybe I will. Go for it, girl. Well, I dare you to go for it with Silver. Hey! You're still the only one that hasn't taken a dare yet. I dare you to get things moving with Damien. I love how they just dare you each other to be like, go for the gold! Go for the gold! Pretty much. Okay, that's fair. We glare at each other. A classic stalemate. Well, I think those guys would be lucky to go out with either of you. Total catches. And I think I'll take your dare. Whatever the consequences, I'm ready to tell the twins how I actually feel about them. Hey, no showing us up. If you do it, then we all have to do it. Well, I guess I'll tell Silver, the unnamed guy I like tomorrow too. They both looked at me expectantly. I signed. I'm not making any promises, but I guess I can try. Hells yeah! Now, is anyone hungry? I could eat a whole pizza. Word, let's crush this. Plain cheese, okay? I'll just be happy we don't have to play Truth or Dare anymore. The rest of the night passed quickly. It was a lot more fun than I thought. I even stayed up till 2 a.m., which I never do voluntarily. I was starting to feel like I might have a shot at understanding how to be a normal girl. When I woke up the next morning, it was to Serenity squealing. Oh my god, no way! Why does she have one volume? Layla stretched and slowly rolled onto her stomach. What's going on? Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures and you're going to guess where they are taken. Ready? Layla looked over at me, puzzled. I shrugged. Well, let's get it over with. On our screen, there was a picture of a beautiful beach with water as blue as a gemstone and sand as bright as fine snow. Oh, is it Nishihima Beach? It kind of looks like that place on the south end of town. Aria is the winner. Okay, but why are you showing us this? Because Silver brought the whole freaking... What do you mean he bought the beach? How does he buy a whole freaking landmass? Excuse me? That's not normal people money. What? Okay. Did he invite us to a party this afternoon? I'm tired of partying. Aria's like, when are we supposed to study and actually be people who are supposed to get our grades? What's going on? Woo, let's keep this going. Keep going, baby. The amount of, like, fictional anime moments, and I say like animated in the sense of like the wildness that happens, the animation and cartoons and stuff is so interesting in this. It's fun if you don't take it too seriously, of course. Now that there was someone around to enable Serenity further, I feared I'd never know another moment of peace. Maybe peace was overrated this afternoon? How much time does that leave us to get ready? Oh god, you're right. We have to grab our swimsuits. We're having a swimsuit episode already in this anime? Dang. She threw Layla's bag at her. Come on, let's get a move on. Party starts at 4, so pick you up at 3. Toodles! For the next 3 hours, I did nothing. It was glorious. It felt like mentally I just finished a marathon. I'd forgotten how good peace and quiet could feel. Before I knew it, they were back to pick me up. I walked out to see Layla already in the front of the passenger seat. Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. Already in the front passenger seat. And then in terms of time check, y'all, I'm probably going to see if you can play for like a little bit longer. And then I'll probably call stream in terms of things. Just guys, but I'll keep y'all posted in terms of things. But yeah, we'll stream a little bit longer, and then I'll kind of debrief in terms of how I'm envisioning the demo in terms of things. But yeah, anyway, I kind of miss being there myself. However, dealing with two friends proved to be a lot. The peace and quiet I'd had since we last saw each other felt like a distant memory as they blasted their music and laughed over it, trading stories in English and Japanese. I felt kind of left out, but then I realized all the noise kind of created its own kind of peace. No one would bother me if they were all otherwise engaged with each other. I smiled. This new social dynamic would be just fine. Wait, why are all these people leaving? It's not 4 yet. Because he bought the beach, remember? He wanted somewhere to spend the day with us. Wait, you mean that literally? Why wouldn't he just rent it? Because he wanted to spend the day with us. I'm crying! He could have just rented it! What do you mean he bought a landmass with that amount of money? I just said that. Layla nodded vigorously in agreement as if this in any way explained it. I was left speechless. As we showed up the hill and between the sandy dunes that hit the beach from the road, passing by begrunted beachgoers muttering about the injustice of having their weekend vacation cut short as we went. I'm crying. I see what you did, developers, and putting that line in there. Oh my gosh, is that a limo? Why are you coming to the beach in a limo? Oh, it's all the men that we've met so far. We turned and saw Ty, Damien, and Silver stepping out what was indeed a limo. We watched Silver's bodyguard hoisted a volleyball net over his shoulder single-handedly. He handed Layla a volleyball. How about a game, ladies? Sure, but you're going down, beach boy. We watched as the boys set up the net, burying our hands and feet into the sand. It's so nice and warm. Makes me miss the beaches back home. Layla was staring determinedly in Ty's direction as he struggled to get the pegs into place. You guys are going to finish your dares, right? Pinky promise? Serenity wrapped her pinky around Layla's. We're in this together. Right, Aria? They both then held their other hands to me. Slowly, I reached out and linked my little fingers with theirs. We all nodded seriously before approaching the net. All right, are you boys ready to lose? Go easy on me. He was smirking in a way that made me think he in no way wanted Layla to go easy. Layla threw the ball upward for a moment. It seemed to eclipse the sun. Then Layla leapt into the air like a goddess in flight and served, only immediately popped the ball. Oh, whoops. This is exactly why I brought extras. He gestured grandly behind him and saw a literal truckload of volleyballs being towed into the beach. Oh, he really doesn't do anything halfway. Show off. Alright, team. Let's really show them what we're made of. Serenity seamlessly drove into the role of team captain. She kept our spirits up throughout the entire neck and neck game until finally, next point wins. Alright, we got this, girls. Hey, Serenity. Bet you a kiss we win this one. I'm screeching! This man said, I'm just going in. I'm going to try it. I'm going to say what I need to say to get with her. I'm going to do it. Gross. Why the heck would I want that? He stuck his tongue out at her as he prepared to serve. I'm crying. Serenity looked really uncomfortable. I tried to think. What would a good best friend do right now? I took a deep breath as Silver threw the ball upward and... What? Startled, Silver lost his aim and hit the ball right out of bounds. I looked over at Serenity and gave her a thumbs up. I'm crying. I sighed and shook my head. Then remembered they're supposed to be excited. Woohoo! Take that, loser! Are you alright, Aria? Did something happen? Oh, I just thought I stepped on a sharp shell or something. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Serenity approach Silver. Silver? Are y'all... I want this soundtrack. If anything, I want this soundtrack. Not saying anything about the game. I'll give you an impression of the game. And I'm not saying anything bad about the game either. I'm just saying the soundtrack is phenomenal. I just will not stop saying it. This song is so relaxing. Like, it's just... Yeah, it's just so good. Shout out again to the developers for that. Hey, Silver. He kicked at the sand. What is it? Well, oh! She's going for it. If you won... Yes, but we lost. Well, since I won, doesn't that mean you should kiss me on the cheek? Silver smirked. Fallen for me, have we? I'm crying, man. Can't just don't let it. Just don't say no sass back. Just be smooth about it, okay, dude? Don't give no sass back, okay? Sincerely. Well, the truth is, oh. Silver pressed his finger to Serena's lips and looked at his watch. A moment later, fireworks lit up the sky. How much money does this man have? What? What do you mean? I guess he was ready. And like they say, you ain't got to stay ready if you get ready. You know what I'm saying? If you already staying ready. Because, what? Okay. Whoa, so cool. Now, I believe you were about to say something. Save it. Because I have been falling in love with you. Oh, that's so cute, though. I love how he waited till he unleashed the fireworks and bought a whole beach and then just confessed this way just to be here first. That's cute. I'll give them that. I'm crying. And I said it first, so I win. Hey, that's cheating. Don't we just make up the rules as we go along? Serenity crossed her arms and looked away, smirking. Well, I guess I don't have to say it right now anyway, so since you already won. Silver looked as though she reached out and slapped him. I'm screeching! But she turned and winked at him. Gotcha. I love you, idiot. Oh, that's so cute! Ah! These whippersnappers and your love stories is just so cool, even though I think they've only known each other for like 3 days. So I don't know what's happening anymore, but I'm just going with it for the sake of the plot. I'm going with it. I don't know what's happening. You know, it's fine. I got a bit of secondhand embarrassment seeing them kiss. It's fine. Just let them have their moment. I would honestly be playing in the beach. Like, listen, beaches are great, y'all. Like, the sand, the seashells, and, you know, just the ambience of that. Particularly if the weather's really nice. I'm just saying. Looks like your little experiment paid off. I had a feeling I was right. Experiment? Did you tell him about the dare? What dare? The dare that we all tell our crushes how we feel about them today. Oh, which reminds me. Ty, I know you probably just see me as one of the boys. What? Not at all. What? Really? How do you see me? Wait, that's not what I meant, though. This is why things always get confusing. Did they just flip the song again? Also, y'all, I'm gonna rebel on the music again. One of the reason why I play a lot of video games, that's why I love No Straight Roads, is I love games that have really great soundtracks. And this one actually has a really nice soundtrack that, like, sets the mood for each scene and stuff, which is really nice. But in general, that's why I like Persona, No Straight Roads in a lot of games. Even Final Fantasy 14, who y'all know I love that game so much. Because, I don't know, music is one of those things I really, really enjoy, which is why I have music motifs, obviously, as a VTuber, because I love music. Even though I have not formally trained in it, I just really love it. And also, a part of me also wants to low-key learn how to DJ. But that's just me. Just saying. But anyway. What I'm saying is, I know you might just see me as one of your best friends, but I want to be your girlfriend. Wait, I mean, will you be my boyfriend? I mean, Layla, please be my other half. I'm screeching. I'm gonna let y'all go with it. It's fine. I do? Well, you kind of skipped like 6 steps. Assuming this is monogamous relationship with marriage, if that's what y'all want. Not that everybody wants that, but okay, cool. Now he gets it. Would you be my girlfriend? Okay, cool. Oh, the little like drawings that they did. That's cool. Tanner slow claps. Not the slow clap from Tanner. Well. I have something to say. Congratulations to the 2 of you. Thanks, bro. Aw, I love y'all both. Together forever. The 3 of them hug. I stifled a snort. They're quite the pair of, or trio, aren't they? Seems like everyone's having their little moment today. Yeah, almost as if it was all planned. Actually, there's something I wanted to talk to you about, too. I guess I went the route I was supposed to go? Or maybe I could have gone a different route? Because we didn't meet the other two dudes. I thought I was gonna meet everybody before we did the thing, but nah, it's fine. I'm gonna go with the bottom. I'm figuring it's sliding right into a confession scene. We've done 2 out of the 3. Wait, actually, let me go first. He looked a little uncomfortable at first, but nodded for me to go on. Opening myself up to another person hasn't been easy, but I feel really safe with you. And I think what I'm trying to say is, there it goes, the I love you. There it is. Take it. Run it home. Oh, no. She's not gonna get her happy ending, is she? He took a deep breath through his nose and ran his hand through his hair. Listen, Aria, I'm sorry. I appreciate you being here for me, but after all this time we spent together, I feel like we aren't a good fit. Sometimes it feels like you're hearing me, but you really aren't listening to me. I feel safe with you too, or else I wouldn't have told you what I did. But part of me wonders is because you don't even care enough to judge me for what I'm saying. You're just completely indifferent. I'm not saying I don't care for you, but I think I have a lot on my plate right now with trying to move past what happened. I can't change what happened, but I want to make the most of the life I still have left. It was a gift from someone I really care about. I owe it to him. I can't do that if I'm trying to get your attention all the time. Oh, I understand. Others, Serenity and Layla, who stood gaping at me with their mouths open. Sun setting. I'm going to go wait in the car. Mortified, I walked away as I could without looking like I was running in sync so low in the passenger seat that they couldn't see me through the windows, where I began to cry. I saw Damien around there after that on campus. Sometimes he even tried to get my attention, but I always avoided making eye contact. It would be better if we acted like we never met. Oh, wow. That was it. Okay, that was it. Oh. Jeez. Okay. Dang, that sucks for her though. Okay. Alright, well we finished the demo. So shout out to the developers in terms of things. Ooh. Dang. Interesting. Okay, did we ever save the game? I don't even think we did. Lol. Okay, we're not gonna start it over again. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chatting screen. I'll just tell you how I think, and we'll just go from there. Okay. So I will say the game is very interesting. I mean, of course, like with a lot of otome games and visual novels, if they go for more of the fun comedy kind of route, there was a lot of dialogue in here that was supposed to be fun or just making fun of like pop culture things in terms of things regards to internet culture. But there were some moments that were really endearing in terms of things, and I think they captured that spirit of when you're young in your like late teens, early 20s, just trying to figure things out and move through stuff. Even though I was just like poking fun at her because it's like you just met this man and he's just going through a lot of things. I don't hate the game at all. I think it was a very interesting ride. I wasn't expecting some of the things I did, and I think the story could be really interesting in terms of where to decide to go with it. I don't hate Damien, like I said, in terms of the this is a visual novel, so I think the choices are you could go with Silver, Ethan, Ty, Damien, or Michelangelo. So maybe because of the route I went with Damien, I didn't unlock the other characters. Or maybe if I chose to do something different, maybe it would have given me more options to go with other characters that I could have like potentially been with. I don't know. It's her main character. But overall, I mean, I think it's very interesting in the sense of Aria reminds me of, when you've had like when you've gone through some stuff in life, had some normal experiences that just really, cause you to think through and, well, let me put it this way. Aria is somebody who I think hasn't had a lot of life experiences, but the ones she's had has impacted her. That's me making assumptions, of course, in terms of privilege and power and things like that. So it's giving the impression that she's just trying to learn and navigate the world, and she's asking a lot of questions of why certain things happen. And I think, when you study psychology or sociology, sometimes the impulse to want to go in those directions is because you ask a lot of questions about the world around you and just really want some of those answers, at least to start going down a rabbit hole of why certain things happen the way they do. So I think it's a very interesting story. I don't have any hatred for it. I think it's very much grounded in the things I've talked about, and there's nothing bad about it per se. So I do hope the developers keep working on the story. I think there were some spelling errors and some things that I would say I would probably suggest in terms of things, but for the most part, I think it's just a very cute story about a girl just trying to figure herself out and meet these different characters. Even though some of it was a little intense and very fast paced and unexpected, because I wasn't expecting Damien's backstory. I wasn't expecting the whole incident, and it felt like at certain parts they really I don't know how she got back to normal after basically almost getting shot at and almost dying, and then them moving full steam ahead in terms of what's going on. So and I hope she finds herself in terms of who she wants to be without a romantic relationship, because I think it's really important for interdependence in terms of developing good friendships, relationships, community with family, and then also if you do pursue a monogamous relationship, that you fall in love with somebody who sees you for your whole self, but also you yourself having your own goals and ambitions. So I hope I'm making sense. I can say a lot more, but it was just an interesting experience. So I'll just say shout out to JJ Beats and everybody else in terms of Aria's Choice. Again, if you would like to play the game, you can download it off the website. They're still working on the game too, so there's a demo available, so you can play through the game and play through your own route as well as your own options in terms of things and go from there. But thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that very interesting story with me in terms of things. I didn't play it before, so this is completely just off the cuff experiencing it the first time live. So I hope folks enjoyed my impressions and my I didn't really try to voice act. I was just reading the dialogue and stuff like that too. But I hope folks enjoyed it for what it was, and we'll share out the game or root for other developers and games upcoming. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and send y'all off to folks to watch. So in regards to streams today, right now, if you'd like to. Skip is streaming. They're also playing again like they were last night, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. You can check that out. My Mutual Satellites is also playing too. They're doing more of their Slowdown. Cafe is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. They're having an uncapped subathon as well, so you please go check out Cafe. They use they them pronouns along with Satellites. And then Aspen is playing Dead by Daylight. So if you'd like to go watch her play Dead by Daylight with Austin Anime, please go ahead and do so. This is really interesting, but also very surprising considering how fast things are developing. Yeah, exactly, Pass. I don't have any hate for it. It just was a very interesting choice of story. I think there's a lot they can work with if they, move it past a demo to a full game development. I think it was just very interesting. I think that Aria, again, is just trying to figure herself out. And when you're in your late teens, early 20s, you're figuring things out and trying to sort through stuff. Damien, I think, has just been through a lot of things at his age. So I understand that he's still trying to sort out his own stuff too. He kind of already said that in the beginning in the sense of saying that he wasn't really looking for a relationship anyway. So it kind of implied, even though I was rooting for her, of course, kind of implied that he wasn't ready, I guess, but we all have to go through the experiences that we do, so it just is what it is in terms of that point. But it was very interesting in terms of the dialogue and the story. So like I said, Aria's Choice, like they said even to the developers, this game is meant for those who've never been in a relationship and feel abnormal about it because of it. So I do appreciate that ethos in terms of what they're trying to do, and I send all the best luck and things. I look forward to folks playing this game or checking it out, and of course, try out visual novels. They're really interesting if you like books and stories, and you can go wrong with them. But anyway, again, y'all, please go check out Skip if you want to watch Legend of Zelda. Satellites, they use they them pronouns. They are playing retro games for their Subathon. Cafe is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and then Aspen is also playing Dead by Daylight. If you also want to check out things too, EtherCon is going on right now. So if you want to go watch some things for Final Fantasy 14, EtherCon Official is the webpage to, it's the Twitch channel to follow. There's panels, events, and artist alley and all bunch of fun stuff for EtherCon. So if you're interested in that, please go check it out. But otherwise, if you're also just, wanting to go do something else, since I've done the streaming, we've streamed for about 2.5 hours, almost 3. I appreciate you and look forward to chatting real soon. I will be back tomorrow morning. We will do some co-working and then we'll get into Final Fantasy 14. We're going to hopefully get into Shadowbringers. So I'm looking forward to being able to chat and chill and have some more fun with y'all this weekend. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining me, whether you were watching live, watching the VOD, or lurking. I really appreciate you and what you got going on. Please stay safe, please stay well, and I will see you soon, if not tomorrow, if not sometime on somewhere on Discord, on socials, or just, somewhere on the internet, somewhere in the world. But either way, take care for now, and thank you all so much for joining me for Aria's Choice, the demo. And yeah, we will get back to popping and doing some shenanigans and co-working and stuff tomorrow. But take care and have a nice one, everybody, and I appreciate you, and thank you so much. And again, please support creatives and game developers. They're the magic that makes makes our lives just that much better. But alrighty, y'all, take care for now. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.